What up, fam? What up, fam? What's happening? What's good? What's up, Sean? Welcome to the live stream, fam. Sports Coma is going down in a major capacity. What's happening, babies? What's good with it? Man, I gotta get myself together here, family. What's good with it? What's happening? It's going on. We in the building, family. How y'all doing, man? Oh man, I forget sometimes. There's been quite a few of them, family. Podcast 398, live stream number 11. It's going down, family. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Who that to the who that's out there in the Sports Coma family across the land? What's happening, my peoples? We're gonna talk about it today. We got a lot to talk about. And as the family coming streaming in. What's good, Sean? What's happening, baby? Jermaine, who that family? How you doing? Scoob's in the building. Who that family? Dada. What's up, my man? How you doing, brother? Welcome, Saints family, to another installment of the Sports Coma live stream. And as always, we here, we cover here, man. We cover it all on the Saints Undisputed Saints Talk Champions. But like we like to get going and like we get started, man, I like to say, well, with Big Q and the guys, and we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q, if you don't know, and you're now listening to the number one independent podcast in the land. That's right, baby. The Sports Coma. And we got a lot to talk about, man. I mean, the Saints making moves, man. And it's just a fantastic thing. What's up, Dada? It's a lot, man. It's a lot going on in Saints world right now, family. I won't cover it with you. Camp Day 8 and number 9 is underway right now. So we'll cover a little of Camp 8 as we were supposed to do a live stream last night. Just quite couldn't get it done. What up, DeQuan? We just got to make sure, man, that we get it all together here on the Sports Coma. And that's what we'll cover. Now, when I want to talk about the day camps 8 and 9, got Saints news and notes we're going to come at you with. Hey, Adrian, how you doing, baby? Number one fan in the building. That's right, Adrian's in the building. Much love to you. We're going to talk about the Saints news and notes of the day. A couple of moves the Saints have announced and made. If you weren't aware of it, we'll make you aware of it today on the show. Got interviews we're going to play from Coach Payton, of course, from yesterday about it, and then we'll cover some stuff today as well, separately. And we have Coach Payton. We have defensive lineman Cam Jordan, who will chime in today. Elvin Kamara, we'll hear what he had to say about camp thus far. Plus, news and notes, if you didn't know, family. Got a cut news to make mention of the fact that the Saints did release Rob Kelly today. Did you know that, family? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Rob Kelly, the back that the Saints just signed a couple days ago, has been released. That's right, we'll get into that story. And the Saints picked up another running back. So you tell me they're not shopping for running backs. You tell me that they're not shopping for running backs, and I tell you that they're shopping for running backs. Now, we missed out on running back. I ain't going to say missed out because his ass chose the Broncos. So I ain't going to say we missed out on signing Theo Riddick. He chose ultimately to go to the Denver Broncos. He's seen a better opportunity there. Much love to him. Go ahead on out there, handle your business, but just be aware that we're going to stump the piss out of you if we ever play you. Just letting you know that. Well, we might not even play them. The Broncos ain't on the schedule anyway, so it might not even matter. Only way we get to them is in the Super Bowl. We know damn well they're not going to no Super Bowl. So, great business decision that Theo. But this is talking about a running back that came from the Detroit Lions and he goes to the Denver Broncos. So it's interesting, man, nonetheless. But we'll talk about more of the same today on the show. What's up, Soldier for God? What's going on from San Antonio? That's right, from San Antonio, man. There's a lot of great Saints fans down in San Antonio, man. A lot of Saints family down there, man. Big ups to you, Soldier for God. And as the family trickles in, do me a service, family. If you haven't already subscribed to the live stream or the show or the podcast, please feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. That helps out as much. And please feel free to share the show on your social media feeds, wherever you tend to socialize, whether it's Facebook, Reddit. Feel free to take the sports coma with you. What up, Sean? Sean said, turn it up, Q. All right, hold on, fam. Let me see if I can inch it up a little bit. How that sound? Is that a lot better for you there, family? Does that sound better? Is that any better? All right, is that any better, family? All right, let me know. Is everybody hearing me fine out there? Been having some sound issues, man, working with this software. So you family members, let me know if y'all can hear me. And if not, then I'll see what we can do here about adjusting the sound. But yep. Daquan, yeah, Big Q, a lot better. Okay, good, family. Good. Then I'm gonna have to speak up for y'all. But this is the thing, man. Yeah. Yep. So this is the thing that I want to talk about with the fact that you have Cameron Meredith. I seen that little news notes item. Meredith signed with the New England Patriots. So I mean, good luck with that maneuver. He probably would make it up there. I mean, I seen it. It's going in and out. Okay, hold on, family. Let me see if I can get this straight here and see what the heck's going on. Just give me a second. Yeah, this new software. Let's see here. All right. All right, family. How that sound? That should be all right now. Shouldn't have to worry about it going in and out on y'all now. I mean, that's probably gonna probably be, yeah, that sound better right there. I can hear that. Yep. All right, family. This is the thing, man. Cameron Meredith turned out to be a real hellacious signing for the Saints. I mean, hellacious in like pure hell, not hellacious in, oh man, that was fire. And that's the thing, man. Cameron Meredith's gone. God bless him. Let him go up there. Hopefully he gets better because he was balling for Chicago, but he lost a lot of stuff up here. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, baby. Yeah, family. So I mean, this is the thing though, man. Cameron Meredith. We seen the writing on the wall when they brought brother Matthews, Rashard Matthews in here, and we knew it was in trouble. That was Stevie Wonder with an assist from Ray Charles to see what was going on with Cameron Meredith if he didn't know. Hey, who that to you, Cheryl? How you doing, baby? Good morning to you. Good morning to all the Saints family. Do me a favor, family. Y'all seven, tweeted out his talks about where he, chat out where he's coming from. Do me a favor and chat out where you guys are chatting from. Let me know where you're chatting from. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl said sounds good. We got to hear each other here. We got to get this right here. And you can see we growing along with y'all. So, feel free to just please excuse the progress. You go in the store and he said, Gary said they put him. What's up, Gary? Who that? They put him on the pup list. How about that? They put him on the puppy list. I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's just what it is, man. Somebody got somebody going to give Cameron Meredith, an opportunity. It just won't be the Saints, you know. So, you know, what can I tell you? You got to get his ass healthy. But anyway, family, like I said, we're gonna go over it. Dada 601 Mississippi. All right, Scoob Philly, them old dirty Eagles up there. I got you, Scoob. Don't worry about it. Dallas, Texas, Dequan in the building. Big ups to you, sir. Yep, that's what's going on. And the rest of the family in the building. That's that. Thank you, fellas. Thank you guys for chiming out your hoods, where you coming from. Now let's get right into it, family. Like I said, let me repeat it again for some of the Saints family that was in the building that didn't quite. Oh, we had a little sound issues early, but let me go over the items of discussion today on podcast. Live stream number 11, podcast 398. We're gonna talk about Saints training camp days 8 and 9. Okay, day 8 and 9. We're gonna go over the 8 first. We're gonna talk about a few Saints news and notes that you guys might not be aware of. A couple of cuts, one signing. Who that, Brian? Welcome to the live stream. And we're going to talk about that today. The Saints released Rob Kelly today, if your family members didn't know that. Eunice Jermaine in the building. That's right, Eunice. Yep, and Lake Charles. Okay, all right. Do you, by chance, Jermaine, you know a brother named Derek Allison? That's good people if you know him. I don't know. He from Eunice. Do you know Derek Allison, Jermaine? Do you know Derek? That's a good brother there, man. Good people. But this is the thing we're going to talk about today, man. Dealing with the show. We're going to go over the Saints news and note. Rob Kelly, running back. Saints just signed. Now, you know Rob Kelly, he was collegiately played for the Tulane Green Wave. And ultimately the Saints, and you know what? It was I don't know if it was a hate and love fair, a love fair. Okay, good, Jermaine. He said, yep, you know Derek Allison. Good dude, man. Good dude, man. Good people. But this the thing, man. This the hardcore reality. Rob Kelly, the Saints, I remember when they would talk, oh, that's your cuz. Okay, big ups, baby, big ups. But this the thing, man. When you talk about Rob Kelly, now you look at what Sean Payton was doing, man. With the man. Now, Sean Payton, and I played it on the last live stream. I think it was the last live stream of one of the podcasts. I get lost sometimes. There's a lot of damn podcasts the last week. And they're going to be a lot of podcasts coming up throughout the duration leading up into the start of the season. So this the interesting thing, though, family, is the fact that Sean Payton had an opportunity. He met with Rob Kelly. They signed Rob Kelly. Then Sean Payton, during an interview, mentioned Rob Kelly's weight, that we had him here before, and he was 15 pounds overweight. And I found that real odd. I'm like, okay, Sean, you know, you're going to talk about the man's weight and that he was overweight when you signed him the first time around. You know, but he's healthy now. You know, in terms of that, his weight is where it's supposed to be. Summerfield, okay, big ups to you, Cheryl. Thank you. So I'm thinking to myself, he mentions Rob Kelly. He talks about Rob Kelly signing with the Saints, and he mentioned his weight. And then ultimately, I don't know if y'all noticed or not, for those who that didn't hear it, but they cut Rob Kelly. They cut him. So the Saints signed Rob Kelly. He was at Tulane. He prepped that. I think it was Old Perry Walker. Yeah, he prepped that Old Perry Walker. Went to Tulane. So he's been a hometown kid. He went up to Washington, balled for Washington. And what can I tell you? Revolt Control Radio in the building. Who that, family? From ATL, around them dirty birds. What's going on, fellas? And this is the thing, man, dealing with Rob Kelly. You know, it just caught because I find it kind of odd every now and again. I catch that. Ahmad, who that, baby? Welcome to the live stream. And I find it kind of weird that he mentioned his weight, even though he wasn't overweight. And we speaking about Rob Kelly now. Then he turned around, released Rob Kelly's ass, and signed Jacquizz Rodgers, who was a dirty bird who came from the Atlanta Falcons. And Jacquizz Rodgers is a guy that I remember when Atlanta signed him, they was trying to mimic what the Saints was doing in terms of using the scat back, and it just didn't work out. So Sean Payton got this guy, and we're going to cover it in the show, man. I just find that real odd that Sean Payton will talk about Rob Kelly's 15 pounds when he did that. I don't know how long that was ago, and then he comes back and he's healthy. But he won't talk about Dan Arnold dropping that goddamn touchdown pass or any other damn things that's going wrong with this team. But you're going to talk about Rob Kelly's. You know, I got to always throw that. JT in the building. What's happening? Crass. Who that? Berlin. All the family joining in. Who that? From North Carolina in the building. Yeah, I know, Crass. We just covered it, baby. We just talked about Rob Kelly being waived in favor of Jacquizz Rodgers. We're going to go over his numbers and see. You know, I was kind of amped about the Theo Riddick thing. But I don't know how to feel about the Jacquizz Rodgers thing, because I knew Theo Riddick could really make a difference. I think he can really make a difference. But I don't know what to say about Jacquizz Rodgers. I mean, basically, I guess he fits the mold. He's a little power back, like not a power back, but like a scat back kind of like a little, I don't say a little scat back type of running back. We had a few problems with Jacquizz Rodgers when he played for Atlanta. Nothing dangerous, but you know, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of that move. But anyway, family, let's get into the day, what was it? Day 8 of the camp. Sometimes I get lost. Day 8 of the camp. And we started off by saying that Friday's practice, you know, you had fullback Michael Burton, Deontay Harris, Emmanuel Butler, Keith Kirkwood, tight end Alize Mack, offensive lineman Derek Kelly, offensive lineman Ethan Greenidge, defensive tackle David Onyemata. They weren't on the field. Safety Marcus Williams, running back Latavius Murray were in uniform for the second straight day, but none of them, you know, participated in the practice. And that was some of the things. But, you know, yesterday was a pretty decent, I guess you could say, camp day for the fellas, you know. But it's kind of interesting to know all those, you know, like Latavius Murray, once again, what the hell's going on with Latavius Murray? You know, what's the deal right there, family? What do y'all think about that? I mean, I don't know. The Saints keep looking for running backs, and I'm saying to myself, do we really need that many backs? I could see, you know, Dwayne Washington. They really big on Dwayne Washington, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, you know. But the focus of Friday's situation was red zone drills, special teams, and of course, guess who emerging? Guess who's emerging into a bona fide player? Guess who's emerging, family? What up, Audit? Who that, baby? Oh, low again. Oh, my goodness. What's going on here? I'm going to try to get as close as I can to the mic, family. Talk to you here. I don't know what's going on here with the sound. But anyway, like I said, it's looking at some of the things dealing with the inside. But, you know, the special teams work happened. With red zone drills, special teams. Eric McCoy stepping his game up, doing his thing. Saints was indoors, working out, doing his thing. The team started open, you know, doing the 10-yard line with the Meredith running plays, passing plays. Drew Brees was there, looking real sharp as usual, connecting on a touchdown pass on the 11-on-11 drills to wide receiver Mike Thomas, and Austin Carr and Jared Cooks had one as well. Now, the special teams, especially the punt unit, cornerback Marcus Sherrill once again led the pack for the first repetitions, joined by wide receiver Cyril Grayson Jr. and running back Matthew Days. He's the backup running back, and Rob Kelly at the time before Rob Kelly got the hell up out of here. Now, participation, David Onyemata, and like I said, all those guys that I mentioned earlier, they weren't there. Marcus Williams and Latavius weren't on the practice field. Now, Williams and Murray were in full uniform. They just didn't participate in. And we talking about front runners emerging. What's going on here? Now, we made mention, I said that when they drafted Eric McCoy was going to be the future of the Saints offensive line. He would make you forget about Max Unger. I know a lot of people was like, Q, you crazy, man. But, I mean, saying, for instance, look, can you remember who Max Unger replaced for the Saints? Seriously. I mean, some of you, who that, Marty? What's going on, baby? But can most of you guys remember who Max Unger replaced without really having to burn a brain cell to do it? Who the hell did Max Unger replace? Now, I know the answer to the question, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, family. But I'm saying that's how it is down here. We have excellent offensive line coaches. We've always had excellent offensive line coaches, a standpoint, a staple of the franchise. And like I said, we're a plug and play system, and the Saints have had a really good offensive line for a very long time, very long time. It's not a coincidence that back in the day when Bobby Hebert and all them was here, we had a pretty decent offense, but the offensive line was strong. When Dalton Hilliard was running behind there. Revolt says Della Ponte. Della Ponte. What you mean Della Ponte? Oh, you talking? I don't think it's Della Ponte. Della Ponte. He played a little bit of the position, but I mean, we had Jonathan. Crap. So you got to make me pull it out from the 49ers. I can't remember the man's name. Help me out, family. Last center before Max Unger. Jonathan, what's his name? Came over from the 49ers. See, I got to burn a brain cell just to remember. But that's just my point, though. My point is, that's what Eric McCoy will do for you. Eric McCoy will make you forget about the center, much like I just forgot whoever the dude was. But anyway, like I'm saying, family, he's been looking spectacular since they put him in the starting unit on the 11-on-11 work. His third straight day. He been lining up in the practices, and since he put him in there, he ain't getting out of that. He gonna stay in there. Only way he gonna get up out of there if he get hurt. Now Cameron Tom looking good too, and he played with the first team offense too. But at a guard, you had Nick Easton got a center rotation in there as well. But McCoy's getting the nod for the past 3 practices as Tom and Easton mostly is working at the second unit, working as between center and guard. So there you go, between center and guard, between those guys. And we knew when Easton came in, when they drafted Eric McCoy, that the situation was going to be Eric McCoy's job to lose. Only way Eric McCoy loses his job is bearing the fact that he gets hurt. There you go. Thank you, Ahmad. Jonathan Goodwin. That's the name of the man. Crash said Goodwin. Revolt said Goodwin. Thank you, sir. That was a good one. Because that's what I'm saying. Jonathan Goodwin. But I had to burn a brain cell just to remember that. And that's, we got Max Unger, and that's what Eric McCoy, in about 5 or 6 years, we're going to be burning brain cells to do that. What up, Travis? How you doing, baby? Who that to you? Welcome to the live stream, my fam. And that's what we talking about, man. That's what he's going to do. Now, he's looking tremendous, and he's going to continue to ball in that center position. I've been saying it. Now, Onyemata wasn't on the practice field like we mentioned earlier, but Malcolm Brown and Mario Edwards Jr. is manning the interior of the defensive line on the first team defense during drills. And it's somewhat showing you that this could possibly be the mix when the season come around for at least that first game until Onyemata comes back for the second contest. And we know about Sheldon Rankins' Achilles injury. But I've said this too, that Brown was I think my words were, when they replaced Tyler Davison, the trader who went to Atlanta, I said that Brown, when they signed him, was a severe, I think my terminology was a severe upgrade over Tyler Davison. Brown is a defensive tackle who is very stout at the point of attack. That's stating it mildly. He's a force. He's a brute inside. I'm not calling the man Aaron Donald, but he is definitely a solid, more than solid defensive tackle. And in the right defense, the guy could be a borderline Pro Bowler. But he was observed collapse, doing what he does best in the interior, collapsing the pocket and causing problems. You got to double block that guy. And mostly he worked on the second team defense, but Onyemata was on the practice field and provided some versatility playing inside, outside in the Saints 4-3 scheme. Now, they're saying the final play of the game, offense versus defense, but defense wins on the last play. The team wrapped up the practice red zone work with a final play determined by the victor of the morning session. Now, the players were in pads and they made contact in some fashion, very limited fashion, because, defense isn't tackling to the ground. But that's not preventing the defense secondary from making plays on the ball when the opportunity presents themselves, because people trying to ball out, they're trying to make the team. Now, believe it or not, Justin Hardy, who's really known for his special team acumen, is having a pretty strong camp at the cornerback position, knocking passes away. He hadn't had any picks, but, he's knocking passes away, and, he looking pretty good. Now, remember, Justin Hardy was a wide receiver the Saints converted. He was a wide receiver that the team, converted from a wide receiver to a cornerback, and has been under the tutelage of Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore has been really schooling. Now, that's a pretty interesting concept because you have Hardy, and then Marshawn Lattimore has taken him under his wing and showing him the cornerback position. And ever since then, he's been balling out of control. Come on. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what it's gonna come down to. The Saints have to be able to just and pay attention. Justin Hardy's a guy that we take. We don't give Justin Hardy credit mostly as a special team. But I'm not looking. If something happened to my cornerback and Justin Hardy is on the field out there, I'm like, Justin Hardy's out there. What the hell is he doing out there? And don't get me wrong, it's nothing against Justin Hardy, but I feel the same way about Chris Banjo. And Banjo comes out there, I'm like, oh shit. Excuse my French. Oh mess, oh crap. We got Justin Hardy out there. We got Chris Banjo out there. Oh my goodness. I'm not, no disrespect, but you don't want to see Justin Hardy or Chris Banjo in your defense. You want to see them in your special teams. You don't want to see them on your defense. No. Oh, no. What up, Quincy? What's happening, baby? Who that to you? It's that. But that was, yep. Crash said Brown was a huge upgrade. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. They've been trying to get rid of Tyler Davidson for the last couple of years, man. They're trying to bring Muhammad Wilkerson out and slide him out of here. They've been trying to get rid of Tyler Davidson. But, yeah, that's the whole point when we breaking down here, man. We're talking about the fact that, I like Justin Hardy, man. I like what he does. He plays, he balls, man. But this is the thing, man. Like I said, I don't want to see him out there. But really, he's stepping up, and he's really taking the position. He's taking it to another level. Now, the Saints, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the Saints have 16 defensive backs on the roster. That's a lot of defensive backs. But his ability to play special teams could give him a spot on the team because he's seen as a special team guy. But he's trying to trying to ball and get to that cornerback position as well. Could we say that Hardy and Banjo and some of these other defensive backs that play special teams make the team? How many of those guys actually make the team? If I went down a 53-man roster and I said to myself, Justin Hardy could possibly be a guy that makes the team, but this is a difficult camp, man. Real difficult. Now, left practice. Now, Rob Kelly left late in the practice for undisclosed reasons. Kelly, who joined the Saints just 2 days ago, was observed walking under his own power inside the team's training facility. So he got some kind of way. He had an issue late in camp, and then next thing you know, he's shown the door the next day. Sean Payton don't play no games. I'm glad I'm not a running back and I work for Sean Payton, man. I don't know. You mentioned that I was overweight the first time when I came to camp, and then then he looks better, and then when a couple of days later I just get a little nick and I'm gone. Hey boy, Sean Payton don't play when it comes down to running back. Now the player of the day in day number 8 was given to Drew Brees and wide receiver Michael Thomas, given as the team come back. Now 11-on-11 drills, the richest wide receiver in NFL history. From inside the 10-yard line, Thomas ran a short route, turned after crossing the goal line and clapped his hands and letting Drew know, hey, I'm open. And then, of course, A.J. Klein, who was one of my favorite players who had the inside coverage. We know A.J. ain't no coverage linebacker. Come on. But he broke the spot where Thomas set. Thomas then cut across the goal line, and Brees fired a dart. And Thomas caught it between two defenders for the touchdown. And the crowd loved that. One of the guys said, money, that's money in the bag. You damn right, too. You damn right, too, because Michael Thomas, man, is really turning it up. So, like I'm saying, fam, leave my cousin alone, Q. I'm just saying, family. But that's day 8, man, and the Saints balling, man, and it looked pretty good. But Rob Kelly, man, let's flash on to that, family. Let me give you a little information on that signing. That releasing. And this was announced from the Saints website. They put out an official release on him being waived. And it said the Saints have announced Saturday, August the 3rd, that the club has signed Jacquizz Rodgers and waived running back Robert Kelly. So something happened and Robert got an injury, and the Saints, his career was almost as short as Dez Bryant's career. But then the Saints ultimately signed the former Atlanta Falcon, Jacquizz Rodgers, a 5'6", 196-pound, 5th-round draft pick out of where did this kid come from? I forgot where he came from. From Texas or something. I think he's from Texas. He's drafted in 2011 by the Falcons. And he played 3 seasons with Tampa Bay. He had 1 stop in Chicago back in 2015. He has an 8-year NFL career, and he carried the ball 545 times for 2,067 yards, 9 touchdowns, adding 216 catches to his docket with 1,590 yards. Are you excited about Jacquizz Rodgers, family? How y'all feel about Jacquizz Rodgers? Who that, Lionel? What's happening, baby? Who that to you, Lionel? You know, Tyler Davis is my cousin. Come on, bro. You're a Saints fan, man. You should have known better than to sign with the Falcons, man. Come on. You got 30-something other teams. You're going to pick the Falcons to go to, and you come from the Saints. Now, you know that's a bad one. Come on. You only go to the Falcons unless you're looking for some revenge or something. You know like I know, Gary. Come on. But but the real let me ask the family that. How y'all feel about that, family? How y'all feel? How y'all feel about Jacquizz Rodgers? Because my feeling is, I was, you listen at Theo Reddick. I'm thinking to myself, Theo Reddick is a guy that can help out. But I don't know, man. I don't know about this dude. I'm going to just be honest with you. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about Theo Reddick. I don't know. I get Camp Body here. I ain't going to lie to you. I say Camp Body. Camp Body, anybody with me? I see Crass is saying it. But I'm not going to discredit Jacquizz Rodgers. He can bring a lot to the table. I just don't think he's going to help us in any capacity, in a major capacity, unless we have a bunch of injuries to people, and I just don't think he's going to help. It's just what it is. That's just my thinking on it. But to be quite honest with you, we'll monitor. But I was interested to see what Rob Kelly's going to do. Too bad, man. Too bad for Rob Kelly. Too bad. But anyway, family, let's move on to our next topic we're going to talk about today. I want to play a little Coach Sean Payton from yesterday as he chimed in on the day 8th in his thoughts on training camp. Here's the coach.
Today's practice had some red zone in it. Any questions with where we're at right now?
How much does that help with the evaluation process? I guess especially for the linemen when you're able to get that red zone work in.
Well, there's just like an ongoing teaching progression, and that's part of the installations. Obviously, you're trying to get not all, but most of your installation done prior to beginning to play games, and it changes when you're in that area of the field. It's an area that you can give up yards, but if you're pretty efficient down there defensively and forcing teams to kick field goals, that can be pretty significant. And obviously, offensively, you're trying to score touchdowns. So today was our first day getting in and getting into that section of the field.
Sean, for a young player like Anzalone, how much did it benefit him going through a full 16 games?
I think quite a bit. Yeah, coming off the injury the year before, I think quite a bit. He's real smart, very comfortable in coverage, and it's to get through a year and the way he did and plays as well as he did. I think that there's a confidence level then you return with.
Some of that benefit too is physical then, because it can go through a whole offseason.
Sure, yeah. He's not rehabbing.
Right.
He's actually in the offseason program.
Sean, when you look at the RPO quarterbacks going into the future, could you see them getting double-digit carries game in and game out? I mean, as far as sticking to that system?
Look, it's a good question. Our league has seen an evolution offensively in different directions. There's been years where multiple tight ends. At some point you're going to have to be able to run the football. I think we're seeing a little bit more of some of the built-in run or passes, and yet I think there's a place for that depending on who your personnel is and what you're trying to accomplish. That ability to run the ball. PO, because there's times where you're going to just want to run the ball. All of that, I think, factors in. But, I think a lot of it depends on who you have personnel-wise and what your vision is as a team for your offense.
How did you versatile and just having Alvin's versatility, how much does that help you with the red zone? Did you work on that today?
Well, it's a good football. I think more of a premium on your running game down. Sounded like it took all of, not that long. And look, it's just another play that's getting challenged. I felt like everyone felt, was like we saw a pass interference get challenged last night, but I didn't see the play.
All right, family. That's Coach Sean Payton chiming in. Of course, that's the thing I'm saying, man, too, about the challenge thing. Coach Payton made mention of the challenge. The reality of the situation is you can't expect a lot to happen. And I addressed some of the things Coach Payton was saying in terms of, things as far as the team is concerned and everything else. But just to address what the reporter asked Coach Payton about the pass interference stuff. Don't be surprised if it don't work. And it ain't going to work as long as you're dealing with the people that made the mistakes. I mean, how could you trust them? What up, Tramal? Who that? Hey, Demi. Happy birthday to you, Demi. 53 years old out of Gentilly. Happy birthday. Everybody wished Demi a happy who that birthday. That's wish Demi a happy birthday. We're dealing with some sound issues here, family. Y'all work with us here. A lot of craziness happening. I don't know what's going on today. But like I said, man, and I've said this before, is that you're dealing with people that control the NFL officials. You put the power in the hands of the people that made the mistake. Now, please tell me we're not that foolhardy. Please tell me we're not that foolhardy to believe that the NFL is going to do something about the mistakes that they made when they're running from the guys in the federal court. Oh, they're going to do something, but they're running from the guys in court. All of the federal lawsuits are now out the way. All of the federal lawsuits, except for one lawsuit that a man was smart enough to put on a fee for $75,000, which would have ellipsed anything over that, would have put it in the federal court, while the NFL has an undefeated record. And we sitting up here thinking that, the NFL passed the rule, they're gonna work it. It's something shifty about that whole deal. Something very shifty. Gary said he can't hear me. All right, family. I don't know what's going on here. We're going to keep on trying to work through this in here. We'll keep on trying to work through it. All right, family. Hold on here. Let's see if I can boost it a bit. And that's hey D. Hey D, who that D? Bless you too, baby. Who that to you, D? But that's the thing, man. My thinking is, you can't possibly expect me to believe that the NFL is going to do everything they're supposed to do as far as the damn rules go. It's a pass interference. It was a pass interference, yes. Yes, it was. And then when everybody want to ask them in the court of law, hey, man, why you ain't enforced the rules like you were supposed to? Well, And I often said to myself, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. But we're gonna see what happens when this lawsuit comes down. But the rule is crap. The pass interference rule is crap. There's nothing there shouldn't have been a rule change for that. Those guys should have been fired. That should have been the change. The referee should have been fired, or at least demoted, or lose a game check or something. But no, nothing happens. You know why nothing happened? Because it was supposed to happen that way. And you know what? They probably got a damn bonus. But anyway, man, that's some of the news from Coach Sean Payton talking about some of the stuff. Gary, Can everybody else hear me on the live stream? Let me know, family, if y'all can hear me well. On a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best, what would you rate the sound currently? Can you guys hear me nice and clear? Gary's saying he can't hear me. Can anybody else? What's the sound to y'all? I don't know. If not, we might have to. I don't know. Let me know, family, how the sound is. You know what? And thank all you guys, man, for wishing Demi a happy Who Dat birthday, man. You know, we got to take care of our own here in the Who Dat Nation, man. Because we got to take care of ourselves here in the Who Dat Nation. Fading in and out. Sound is a 2. Okay, thank you, Crass. Thank you. Cheryl said a 2. Adrian says sound in and out. Okay. Yeah, we having bad issues today. Marty says not that good. Thank you, guys. We're going to see if we can work this thing, family. Sorry, Q, number 1. No, that's fine, Demi. Very low 2 on the scale. Very glitchy. Okay, thanks, Scoob. Thank y'all for telling the truth. We trying to get it worked out here, family. I don't know what's going on with it today. It's really not too good today. But we're going to kind of, I guess we're going to keep trying to push on this here thing. Hold on here, family. Let's see what we can do. All right. What up? Who that to you? DQ the Jew. Who that, baby? I hope I said that right. Willie, what's up? Who that, Willie? Who that, Troy? Troy said the sound cutting in out. All right, fellas. How that sound, man? We just changed the setting. They just changed the sound setting. Is that any better for the family? Is that any better? Give me a sound check, family. Check 1, check 2. Feel like a rap in this piece. Is that sound any better to your family? Let me know and we can continue this here thing. Y'all give me the heads up. Let me know if that's any better. No. Crash said if you got to cancel these shit phones. I think that's something in software, bro. Better. Okay. As long as it's better, family. As long as it's better. Okay, all good. Crash says sounds good. Marty says yes. All right, we good to go then, family. Way better. Thank you. All right, family. That not solid 4. Okay, that's what we want to be, baby. Cheryl, thank you. Ahmad, appreciate it, sir. So I mean, this is what it's about, family. Now that we're gonna go. Okay, D, thank you, D. Appreciate you. Now, see, family, this is Willie says good. Troy says loud and clear. All right, babies, that's Who Dat. Let's get it going. Can't stop a Who Dat. You know, you can't stop a down hard Who Dat. Now, let me approach a subject, family. I want to talk about this foolishness with the referees. Now, we just went over the rule. Now, you heard the reporter say in the interview about Sean Payton, asked him about the pass interference that occurred, and they threw a flag. Thank you, JT. Who dat? And he threw a flag in the Atlanta versus the Broncos game, and people didn't see the play. And that's what they said. They were saying that, well, they you know, and all this kind of rigmarole. And I'm like, people, we got to, golly, people, we got to think about this stuff here. We got to think about this stuff. You can't expect the NFL, the same people who perpetrated the fraud against the New Orleans Saints with that silly rule. That's a silly ass rule. Pardon my Portuguese. That's a silly rule. And it's a silly rule because they're only making a rule for it. Had they have done the right thing by firing the official, demoting them, or how about sending them back to the Pee Wee leagues? How about doing that? You know, demoting them or having a, you know, thank you, Berlin. Who that? You know, and doing that kind of stuff out to them. Maybe we should have did it like that. Promoted their ass back to the Pee Wee League. Let's send them to Pop Warner and say, okay, well, you're subject to go back to Pop Warner for 4 games. But they didn't touch those guys because those guys did what the hell they were supposed to do. That's what they were supposed to do. And that's the ugly side of the NFL. That's the ugly side about pro sports, family, is that we get up to a certain point. Your team got to play damn near perfect and don't get any help for the referees. Because remember, the referees are an extension of the NFL. They're not a group unto themselves. They don't have total independent power to operate without the octopus tentacles of the NFL, if you know what I mean. If there was a separate group, that operated within the confines in the NFL and then the teams, then I guess it'll be a lot better. But the NFL kind of overrides. They kind of sit on top of them and say, okay, and they protect them. Like they put like some type of animal protects its cub. And then you say, hey, you made a bad call, and they smack you down. You say, well, why you smack me down? Why you gave me a $25,000, $30,000 fine for saying the guy missed the call? Because you can't talk about the officials. You cannot talk about the officials. Talk about the officials undermines the integrity of the NFL. It undermines the integrity. Then you look at the NFL as a shield. Then you look behind the shield and find out they've been holding stuff back about concussions for years, lying and saying that there's the concussion data. Been lying about that for years. They've been lying about their tax exempt status. They're a tax exempt nonprofit organization. They've been lying about a lot of stuff. And then it's just what it is. That's what you take when you become a fan. But let's not look at the game like an ignorant player, like an ignorant person. Sports is not devoid of life. Everything that is in life that goes around happens in sports. It does. We have athletes that participate into performance enhancement stuff. We know all too well. We had guys that played for this team that were caught up in doing stuff to try to compete, performing enhancing drugs and all this kind of stuff. But they were good people. Got Mark Ingram. He was thrown out the league for four games last year for taking PEDs, which is another name, performance enhancing drugs, which is saying that you cheat. And then it's the whole thing. I'm a boxing man too. So there's a lot of fighters out there that's getting hit with PEDs and steroids and something in their system, performance enhancing drugs and all this kind of stuff. That's what happens because of the money involved. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if anybody. I'm surprised the NFL come out and say Sean Payton, or they'll find somebody say with Sean Payton or anybody else, he banned from the league for one game for taking PEDs. You think it's crazy? I think Roger Goodell is a chump. I think Roger Goodell is a buffoon. I think Roger Goodell is a chump. Did I say a chump already? I don't like Roger Goodell, as you can tell. I think Roger Goodell is absolutely a nincompoop. But family, we have to understand these things are real. Now, I'm looking at some of the comments that's being made. And Berlin says that, what are you saying, Berlin? Berlin says that, sorry, Rodgers is not a threat and a waste of time and money. What is he for? The kicking game. That could be it. I don't know, man. I don't know what Rodgers is there. It don't give me the same mojo that a Theo Reddick gave me. Remember when I was fired up for that Theo Reddick thing? I'm not really fired up too much for this. I'm like, like Sunday school or something. You about to sing an old hymn. It don't get you up like it ain't like Lil Jon or whomever. It ain't the crunky music that gets you all bucked up. This is like hearing a Theo Reddick possibly signing with the Saints. It's like hearing some get buck music. Get up and get excited music. Hearing Jacquizz Rodgers signing with the Saints is like hearing old black folk spiritual. That's what it's like. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's a different energy. You got one lifting you up and one kind of, sombering type of deal here. I don't know. I don't get it. What up, Jason? How you doing, baby? What's the word on Devontae Zigbo? Zigbo's fine. He's fine. He's not being hearing too much from Devontae Zigbo now. He's doing okay. He got lit up the other day. I know that for certain. I think it was Geno Grissom put the smack down on him pretty good. No. I'm sorry. Tre Hendrickson blew Devontae Zigbo up, so he doing all right. But Dwayne Washington is taking advantage of the fact that Latavius Murray is not there, and he's really, really stepping up. So that's something to say. Artist says NFL and Vegas won't say so in Super Bowl. Yeah. Well, Artist, you know what time it is with that. I'm gonna leave that to you. And don't Willie said don't contaminate the kids. Hey man, we gotta enjoy the game, man. We gotta enjoy the game with a good sense though. Come on. Burley said cracking on it, but I can hear you if though. All right. And Dwayne Washington gonna push these camp body back out the door. Kamara, Murray, Ezigbo, and Washington. Could be. It could be because, you know, with everything that I've seen, man, I don't see anybody else. Man. You know, with all that movement in the running back room. All that movement. Guys coming in, guys going out. I didn't realize the running back room was so important. You know, and Theo Riddick, it was just about money. Theo Riddick wanted the most money, and we knew that when he stepped out the door. He was healthy, but the Saints knew, of course, with the impending salary of Mike Thomas coming down, and they probably wanted him to play for really cheap, and Denver gave them, you know, a better deal. But, you know, Jacquizz, Robert Kelly, I like the Robert Kelly move, but he's obviously hurt, so he's out the door. Jacquizz Rodgers, I don't know what to make of it. I agree with you guys. A lot of you guys saying camp body. I agree too. I'm not inspired by the Jacquizz Rodgers move. Not at all, family. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm just not. But anyway, family, let's go into some more interviews here. Let's take a listen to Cam Jordan. As Cam is going to talk about Cam. You know what, Cam? We haven't heard from Cam in a while, man. It's been a while since we heard from Cam, and you know, since he got his money.
Know how to be better off the field. I don't.
Cam, you said the socks are locker. Are there more than one pair? Are you wearing the same
absolutely.
pair
No,
every
these
day?
are fresh pairs every day. These are one and dones. I've got a little corner full of I'm running low though. I got like 2 pairs left. I just found out the company who sent them. I'm not sure how to say it out loud, so I'm not going to say it out loud. But just know more pairs on the way.
You excited about the Madden release?
I don't know. I've been playing Madden for a while. You guys are late.
Do you play as yourself?
I do. I'm not a fan this year because I can't drop myself into a 2-point stance. Like once you're on D-line play, unless you're in like a 3-4 situation, you can't make yourself an outside linebacker. I usually like to stand myself up. I like to throw D-line stunts in there, whether the game wants it to or not.
Do you ever drop yourself in coverage?
Absolutely. When you're going against, never mind. When you're going against a quarterback who likes checkdowns, then you know it's easy to boost your stats on the game.
Are player ratings that big of a discussion now in the locker room?
I mean, for ego, for like a week. You get over it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to help us win any games. You know, you wish you get a little bit more respect than you deserve. You see like a bunk rating on like your speed or, you know, on your strength or whatever it is, or you see your stats and then you see somebody who you're clearly better than and they've got better stats, or they got lesser stats than you and they have a higher rating than you. You know, this is all locker room banner. You make fun of your friends. You call your friends around the league like, what are you? 70 what? Oh. You know, C+ friends out here. You're some A+ friends.
Cam, anytime someone comes here in free agency, I'm sure there's always, from the inside perspective, you know, wonder if there's going to be a good fit. As far as Demario Davis is concerned,
Amazing fit.
Last year and change, how would you assess how he's
Reverend, brother, deacon, Demario Davis. Phenomenal fit. I mean, the way he comes in to attack practice is the same way he comes in to attack games. Look at my dad. All right, appreciate it.
So Cam, when you look last year, the run defense, right there with the Bears, wanted to you in that category throughout. Is it more just being disciplined with the run fits, obviously the talent, but is it more just everybody doing their job or what?
Absolutely. When you talk about our run defense, you know, you want to be stout on first and second down. If you want to have fun, you got to play first and second down the right way. If you want to pass rush, you got to get to third down. You got to get them in a manageable distance. So it's got to be on the interior. It's got to be on the front seven, and that's the pressure you put on. Now, when it comes down to third down, that's when you rely on your secondary, your linebacker core, and you know your pass rushers get after the quarterback.
That's Cam Jordan, family. Old Cam talking about whatever. Cam got a lot to say, don't he, man? Don't you just love old Cam? Full of all kind of stuff, man. Just happy as hell, man. Cam Jordan need to bottle whatever he on right now and sell it. You know. Old Cam, good people. But he mentioned a lot of things, man, and I'm just excited to see old Cam out there and to get help. You got Malcolm Brown to help him. That Davenport's a big question mark. Well, it's a question mark only because of the health. I want to know what he's going to do in terms of his health. That's the only thing about Davenport that kind of scares me. Not scared, but I don't know, man. I just don't know about Davenport. You know, he got to show me some stuff, man. You know, I just how I feel about it, family. But let's hear what some of the family says. Quincy says Dwayne Washington's going to push these camp bodies back out the door tomorrow. Yeah, we know about that. Running back Washington was impressive last year. I hope he steps up. I think we may be set at running back. Or that you might have a point. I think we just might be set at running back. I think you're right on that, family. Because to be honest with you, you look at what Dwayne Washington has been doing, and he's really been in Sean Payton. Been commenting and really commenting on Dwayne Washington on the slick that he's been impressed with what he can bring. Now, he's a physical runner, and he does know the same system, so he does have the leg up. So we might just be set, but that depends. You know, we still got a lot to go. There's still a lot of camp left, and unfortunately, guys get hurt. You know, it's not even really contact drills right now, and guys are getting hurt. So that goes to show you, man, when they really start hitting, how many of them going to start falling like 10 pins? You know, I don't know. Glenn says, checking in from the Red Stick. I went to training camp on Thursday. Dan Arnold had the catch of the day. He. Glenn, you know, when you bring that guy here, you know, I ain't gonna let the blood pressure get fired up there, Glenn. But Dan Arnold, man, you know, I remember watching some of his move at practice and his temperament after he dropped the pass in the touchdown in the Super Bowl. And he really, I mean, it wasn't too many people laying into Dan Arnold like I was. There really ain't nobody. I mean, I think I've heard one article written on Dan Arnold dropping a touchdown pass, but every time mentioned, Sean Payton would deflect it. You know, so he was trying to protect him. But I'm like, no, you're going to get your butt up in there. You're going to take this. You want the credit, you're going to take the blame. But that was my mentality. But he is making plays now. Let's hope that he can do what Marcus Williams did when Marcus Williams did his horrible, you know, tackle thing, whatever that was, bowed his head and just threw himself into his own player. You know, he actually came back from that. Maybe Dan Arnold could too. You know, then again, I don't know. But Alize Mack is out. That's why Dan Arnold getting a little bit more shine too, so he can take advantage. Crash said, keep an eye on the rookie safety Saquon Hampton. He has a good camp so far. Yeah, he is. I've been paying attention to Saquon Hampton. He's the most intriguing of all the Saints draft picks to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's the most intriguing of them. And, you know, you look at you know what Eric McCoy brings. You know what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is. You know kind of what Caden Ellis is possible of doing and Alize Mack. But, you know, the other safety, Saquon Hampton, is the question mark there. Now, he's a physical hitter, and does he, you know, his coverage ability is in question. But he has been having a pretty decent camp. And it'd be interesting to see if both those safeties can make the team. That would be really interesting. You know, that'd be interesting because Saquon Hampton does play special teams. You know, it would be interesting to see if he can run a JT Gray or somebody like that off the team who made it. Jason says Roger Goodell is a straight up who you? I'm sorry, Jason. I don't know what that is. H-E-A-U. Hugh, who should be nailed to a. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, that should be nailed to a cross on the White House lawn and set on fire right before this year's first game on Thursday night. Great way to kick off the next season. You know, Jason, I think I would be for that, but the smell that it would make is not even working. Could you believe, you know, the smell that would, you know, no, don't, because the smell, all that mess and crap backed up that guy's full of, nah, that'll be like an explosion of 10 water treatment companies or plants. You know what I'm saying? You ever drove by a water treatment plant, you know, in your neighborhood, around your neighborhood, and smelled that? Imagine 100 of those exploding. That's what that would smell like if Roger Goodell was burned on that cross that you were saying about. So I don't know. But much love to you, though. Quincy says Goodell needs to meet me and the boys in Holly Grove. Real quick, got some questions for him. He ain't coming, Flair. Cam got 87 overall on Madden. Yep. Yep. Family, and then by the way, family, we're giving out Madden games next week. We'll start our Madden game giveaway next week. So be paying attention to the community section. We'll have a advertisement coming soon of what you can do to kind of subscribe to win a Madden game for your system. So we got that coming up real soon. Y'all toe it up. But that's the thing, man. That's the funny thing about it. But let's go to our next person we're gonna talk to. Is Mr. Demario Davis.
Listen up. The soap you
And
shower.
Demario Davis is a guy, man, that has a lot to say. And well, you know, Demario says it with his play. So here's Demario Davis on camera.
No, I mean, is it truly everything second nature to you right now?
I think at this point, you know, I got it down pat about as best as you can get it. But I mean, it's always little things that you can add. We put in some different things in the off season that we sharpening now, and I think we kind of probably got about 3 more installs. And so, just the more and more you get through it, you go through it, the better you become, more accustomed that you have at it. And I think that's the key to playing fast is to get it down, make it second nature, so you can focus on what the offense is doing.
And Demario, how much pride do you take that, I know you and Alex Anzalone and A.J. Klein, I know you'll take pride running down the field with the receivers, but being able to be right there in coverage, you know, 25, 30 yards down the field?
I think it's a spatial game now. You have to have hybrid linebackers that, you know, can get the job done in the box and make plays 15 plus yards down the field because the tight ends are running deeper, running backs are running deeper, and every now and then you may get on a wide receiver in the slot or something like that. And so it's just the nature of the business, and it comes with the position. Now you have those responsibilities, and so you just got to make sure that you're prepared to do it and know where to get to those spots.
Demario, they've had fans come up to us on Saints radio and say, well, Demario Davis, to me, I know you're your own man, but they kind of view the great linebackers we've had here, Sam Mills, Jonathan Billman. And they kind of even say now, because they're more familiar than Sean Payton, that Demario Davis is our new Jonathan Billman. You got to take a lot of pride in that, and the fans view you that way.
Man, I mean, I got so much respect for guys like that, you know, the guys that are in Saints glory and Saints Hall of Fame, and you know, I got a tremendous amount of respect for those guys and the work that they put in. So to even be in the same conversation, you know, is an honor. I know the game is you know, a lot different now. Linebackers are asked to do a lot more stuff, especially in the coverage game now, and being, you know, going wider and deeper down the field. And so, yeah, I try to focus on being as best I can in this area. And at the same time, I have a lot of appreciation and respect and utmost respect and number praise for the guys who came in front of me.
Sean was just saying how a lot of teams may try to save those reviews for the second half now that pass interference is reviewable. So just being a player on the field, how do you guys deal with that? Maybe a first half play you may want to have review, maybe not be, because obviously you got to think about, you know, all 4 quarters of the game. How do you think that's going to play in strategy now?
Well, I think that goes a lot more to the head coach than anything. You know, the challenge has always been controlled by the head coach, and I mean, he's listening inside his headset to the guys up top, and he'll know, you know, how to best use it. I don't think, as far as us, it affects us any different. You know, if we get the call, we get it. If we don't get the call, we don't get it. You know, and it kind of goes both ways. Sometimes defense you can get away with one. Sometimes offense gets away with a lot. So. But I think that's on the coach as far as how they want to review it, and you know, you can't let that affect your game.
That's Demario Davis, family, chiming in. Now, Demario Davis is, of course, one of my favorite Saints guys. I got quite a few of them, but Demario Davis, man, can't complain about that guy, man. That guy comes, he plays every game. I mean, literally, he's played in every game. But Demario Davis has been a staple since he's been here. Prior to this Demario getting here from the Jets, the Saints had musical chairs at the middle linebacker position, period. Now, of course, he allows guys like Alex Anzalone and A.J. Klein to kind of not have so many reps. And you can see that helped with Demario's stability. That allowed people like Alex to play, you know, get healthy and play. A.J. Klein to fit in and play. I mean, he has not missed a game since being here, you know, and that's saying a lot at the middle linebacker position, you know, and he's got, I mean, he's coming up real soon. The Saints got to break Demario Davis off. Hopefully, it don't cost him a lot of money, but The man has been, absolutely insane in playing in that middle linebacker. And big ups to Demario Davis as he holding it down. Dada says, I believe Hampton takes over in 2 years to start at safety position. 2 years at safety position? What is that place? If Von Bell, Dada, who is he taking over for? Marcus Williams? Who is he taking over for? Jason says Mills was the man, though, too. Don't patrol field mouse, rest in peace. That's right, rest in peace to Sam Mills, who's one of the, he was an excellent player, man, for the Saints. He came in that Jim Moore era from the USFL. Then you had Bowen Johnson, Pat Swilling, then, of course, the immortal, almighty Hall of Famer, Ricky Jackson, who's the Saints all-time sack man. D says, have you heard an update on tight end Alizé Mack? Jason says he got cut. Is that true? I didn't hear anything about them cutting Alizé Mack. I haven't heard anything about it. I have to look that up. But I know Rob Kelly got cut. He was released today and they resigned. I don't know about Alizé Mack, D. From what I'm gauging from Alizé Mack, the latest on him is you have a few guys that didn't participate. And let's see here. Let me see if I can get an update here. But 12 players were in that practice. 12 players were in that practice. Michael Burton, who's the backup fullback. Deontay Harris, again, is hurt. The kick return, NCAA all-record kick returner, he's out. Emmanuel Butler is out again. Keith Kirkwood is not, who wasn't seen practicing. Alizé Mack, Larry Warford, Ethan Greenidge, David Onyemata, Mario Edwards Jr., Demario Davis wasn't out for today. AJ Klein and defensive back TJ Green weren't on the field today. Now Derek Kelly, who's the undrafted offensive lineman, he returned to camp, and running back Robbie Kelly, who we talked about, he wasn't on the field as well. So he got released in favor of Jacquizz Rodgers, as we reported earlier. So that's my note right now. The information I got on that. I haven't heard anything about them releasing Alizé Mack. That'll be a major mistake if they did. But I haven't heard anything on it. But yep, that's pretty much what it is as it stands. So interesting, man. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know about the Alizé Mack, Jason. I haven't heard anything about him getting cut. I haven't seen anything about that. But yeah, family, that's pretty much what's going on right now with the Saints in terms of what they're doing. Now, today, they just finished up practice, so we'll have a report probably later on in the day that we'll come back with and do a report later on tonight covering what happened today. And we'll have all the interviews and everything else with camp going on. But as it stands right now, it's weird, man. It's funny because if I was a player for the Saints, I would leave number 37 alone, the number 37 alone, because the last two guys to wear number 37 got cut. That's Buck Allen, who signed a 4-year deal. He got hurt. He got released. They brought in Rob Kelly. He put on 37. He gets hurt. He released. So I don't know what sucker pick up 37 next, but he better watch his tail. That's a jinx number. Derek says, what up, Derek? Derek said they did cut Kelly and added Rodgers. Yeah, we covered it, bro. We covered it. Yeah, but that's the whole deal, man. Like I said, right now, based on information that we getting out here, I haven't got anything on Alizé Mack getting cut. I know they got rid of Rob Kelly. And that is it for right now. Now, the only other updates I report on is the fact that, we're going to have some more interviews later on. We're going to have some more. It's Coach Payton. Well, this is Coach. Let me see if we can play a little of this for you guys. It's Coach Payton's thoughts on the importance of having 4 preseason games. I like to hear this one.
Do I feel that way? Yes. Just because of how much we've restricted in the spring, and quite honestly, what we've restricted in training camp. So I know the challenge oftentimes is that 4th preseason game, but I can't think of a season here where that 4th preseason game didn't mean something to a handful of players that were in it, and it meant something to us in the evaluation. So because the curve current spring format, obviously we're not in pads at all, and so I
That's Coach Payton, man, a little bit of his thoughts, his insight on 4 preseason games. I found that interesting, man, for whatever reason, to hear what he had to say about 4 preseason. He won 4 preseason games. I don't want no damn more 4 preseason games, family. I'm sorry. I don't want to see no more of this. It's like professional college. It ain't even college football. College football is competitive. It's fast. I mean, but I don't think you need that many damn games. Of course, you can't see them in pads because of what's happening with the contracts and everything, the agreements where they can't hit each other. You got to have 2 a days, all this kind of madness. And then preseason games are the only time you hit it. So I don't know, man. I don't know about that, Coach. I don't agree. I think I ain't going to agree with you on that one. I don't want to see no more preseason games. I think I'm tired of 4 preseason games. And then the team, basically, the first 2 games of the season is a preseason game anyway because the team trying to figure out how to win. I mean, I remember the year when the Saints lost a couple of the games and then they went on that winning streak. Remember that? And they looked so terrible. So damn terrible that first year. And I'm like, man, you can't let in preseason. The coaches are so scared to play the guys, the starters in preseason because they are afraid of the lash out that they're gonna get if they get a player like Drew Brees hurt in preseason. But the issue is you got to play Drew Brees in preseason because that's what preseason for. You got to play him. You got to play him so you can build some type of camaraderie on the field before the first regular season game starts. You know, and it's oftentimes not the last several seasons I watched the Saints get off to kind of a slow start. They look kind of sloppy out of the gate, offensively speaking, defensively speaking, before they started. Right around their 3rd or 4th game mark, they start looking good. So I don't know about the preseason game thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking that you don't see you ain't gonna see Drew Brees, but probably 4 games, maybe 2 or 3 quarters. Not even a quarter. You see him a quarter and a half or something like that. You might see him in the second game, and then you won't see him no more. You might see him a little in the first, then some in the second, none of the third, maybe 1 in the. It's crazy, you know. So I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of having if the major guys is gonna see the field more than anything? It's not even on the field during preseason, and they need to be the ones that you see on the field. So whether it's in preseason, whether it's in when you go play or you scrimmage against the Chargers, you go out there to Los Angeles, they hitting. Now, of course, your quarterback's gonna have red shirts and all that, but everybody else is hitting. But when you get to the preseason, they're not, red shirts. They're gonna try to tear you up out there because them guys trying to make a living, you know. So, but still in all, I still say that if it's a gamble, but it's a gamble no matter how you look at it. You gotta have to play those guys because you're gonna have to play them to get camaraderie or lose games in the start of the regular season because you learn it in the regular season as opposed to at least using 4 games of the preseason to kind of get a rhythm. You get what I'm saying, family? It's a dilemma, man. They just got to figure out, man. Crash says, low risk on Meredith. Pats need a wide receiver just kicking the tires on camera. I don't think he makes the final. I don't think he is. Man ain't healthy. But they need a high-paid janitor, a guy to cut the grass for you, a 6'4" janitor, a guy to cut the grass and wash the cars for you. Man, come on. The man ain't healthy. He need to sit on the side, you know. And Dada say Williams. So okay, Dada. So the Dada's commentary is that he thinking that Saquon Hampton replaces Williams in 2 years. Interesting. I don't know about that. I know Vine Bell's position is going to be gone because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, obviously, is his replacement. You know, we talk about Vine Bell. Vine Bell could be out of here too. Even though Vine Bell bulked up a little bit, he got up to like 215 pounds, and he played really well. Man had 88 tackles last year. You know, he ain't getting a lot of respect from that safety position. But Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is obviously the heir apparent to Von Bell's position. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But Saquon Hampton he's an enigma to me. Maybe he can beat out a guy, for JT Gray or for a special team slot eventually. But I think he got a little bit more skill than a guy like Chris Banjo in terms of the safety position. Based on what I see. Now, not disrespect Chris Banjo because I like him a lot. But Saquon Hampton, I think he got a higher upside to come in because he's a hitter. And he has some ball skills, but it's going to take a while for him to get there. So it could be interesting. Really interesting, that data. Jason says, what do you think about them going 8-2, Q? It's a possibility. If the Saints can fire off, man, if the Saints can minimize mistakes and come out there and avoid injuries and just, I think it's possible. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because you have a pretty difficult schedule, despite the fact what these other numbskulls are saying that the Saints don't have a difficult schedule. That's bull crap. They have a very difficult schedule. They have some games, and they talk about just because you have Arizona on your lineup, they thinking, well, we got Arizona and they got a rookie quarterback, but that guy could play. Don't disrespect the rookie quarterback, especially ones like Murray. Remember what happened when the Saints played the Washington Redskins and RG3 was starting his very first game. Redskins took it to the Saints. Took the Saints to the woodshed that game. So I ain't putting up the Nova on none of these professional teams. And at any given day, somebody could play better than you. They just have to make a few more plays and less mistakes, and they can beat you. So we can't afford to be a guy that is on the level of being overconfident about our talent. They're gunning for the Saints in the NFC West, in the South, people. They're gunning for the Saints. The Atlanta Falcons are gunning for the Saints. The Carolina Panthers, who the Saints beat 3 times in a year one time, they're gunning for the Saints. Cam didn't forget that. And then you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who've been playing the Saints neck and neck for the last few years. Even though they haven't won any games, like they have been a winning team, they have played the Saints hard every time they play. So they're not afraid of the Saints either. So we can't afford not to get overconfident on some of these guys. But 18-2, they can do it. This team damn sure could do it. The issue is staying healthy enough to do it, executing, and making as less mistakes as possible. That's what it comes down to. And having all of our core piece guys to step up and play at a high level for large stretches of the season. 18-2 is definitely a possibility. We were 13-3 last year, and a few of those games we should have actually won. To be honest with you, a couple of those we should have went up to, been a little bit better. But getting to the bowl, man, is something that the Saints should be focused on doing, and we should, by the end of it, should be in the Super Bowl. Jason says, I think 3 preseason games are perfect. I either 2 or 3 of them. I look at the college model, and I know you're saying with the college is cute, well, that's just college, and that's how they do it. They got more people added to their roster where they can, absorb injuries or whatnot. But it's been that way for a long time, and eventually it's gonna be down to 2 games, regardless of what me or anybody feel about it, because the NFL wants 2 more games, and they're gonna take it from the preseason to make it happen. So eventually they're gonna have to, they're gonna have to monitor. They're gonna have to decide on how they're gonna evaluate talent in the future. They're just going to have to. And they say, well, we're going to have to You're going to have to make scrimmages. You're going to have more scrimmages. You're going to have to add that to the mixture with other teams and everything like that there. So, I mean, they'll figure it out. But I'm just sick of the 4 games. 4 games of watching backups now, and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I like watching to see what the guys could do. But when it comes down to it, the backup guys aren't the guys that's going to win games for you. The stars are the ones. That's why they make the big money. The stars are the ones, the Drew Breeses, the Michael Thomases, the Elvin Kamaras, those guys are the ones that's gonna pay off when the time comes. Those are the guys you want to see on the field in great frequency, because seeing them play together meaning they have more of a synergy or a harmony together on the field. And that's what it comes down to me. All this other stuff now, role players are important as well, but at the same time you also got to remember that 4 games to evaluate role players is a bit much. It is a bit much, and I've been watching it for years. And I'm like, golly, could we just get to a regular season already? Could we just, it just how it's been. Glenn says, you think Elvin will play just 1 game during the preseason along with Breeze? Probably so. You're not gonna see Elvin Kamara doing too much. They're gonna have their helmet on and the stuff on up there. You're gonna get out there and run a series, a few series, and not even 1 game though, Glenn. That's the whole thing. They're gonna get in there and play a series, maybe 5 or 6 series, maybe a drive or 2, and then they get off the field, let the backups come in, and then you probably ain't gonna see them until another game. So altogether, you might be looking at less than 10 series for the entire 4-game preseason. Then they start the regular season off, and then they don't, they look kind of out of rhythm. That's because they're not playing. I'm like, we got to take advantage of playing time, live game simulation the best way we can. The best way players learn and they get better is they got to play on the same field. Not practice field or not. I'm saying getting the real game, actual game simulation, getting the real game circumstance situations. And in order to do that, preseason gives you an opportunity to kind of get close to the regular season as you possibly can. And for a lot of teams to not take advantage of that, it's kind of weird to me. And because they don't want to get the players hurt, and I understand that. But I've seen at times when the players went health free through the entire preseason because they were shelving them, and then they get to the regular season, and then boom, first 2 games they get hurt. So how do you explain that? Oh, that's just how it was supposed. No, if the man was gonna get hurt, he was gonna get hurt, regardless if it's preseason or not. If it was in the cards, it's in the cards. So I'm saying we got better utilize the preseason in these real game situations so that it don't impact us when the regular season come around. Because you often see our team using the first 2 games of the regular season as like a preseason. It's like how the preseason is supposed to be. We don't get them in there, and then you play this guy, and that guy don't play. Then you got the stars sitting on the sideline. It's crazy to me. I don't know. I just don't like it. I think we need to find a better way of doing it. Crash said, yep, I like you said, Meredith ain't healthy. Scoop said, Allen likes the nickel safety lineup too. 3 safety lineups ensure Bell's job, I think. Well, Bell's contract coming up soon, so, better watch out for that. Let's see. What's up, Devon? Jackson, he says, Jacquizz Rodgers, who that to you, baby? Said Jacquizz Rodgers is a worthy pickup. I know he shifty and strong. He is definitely strong. I've seen him when he played against the Saints. He a little bowling ball when he has to be, but he's an excellent catcher of the ball out the backfield. So you might have a point on that there. You might have a on that, Devon, because I think seeing him catch the ball out the backfield like that, he could help out, and he does play special teams, like we mentioned earlier. So maybe we might be disrespecting Jacquizz Rodgers a little bit here, family. He is an 8-year veteran here. He's an 8-year veteran. And he's seen a lot of stuff in the NFL. He's come from multiple teams. He still retained a lot of his shiftiness. He's a pretty damn good receiver out the backfield as well. He don't come with all the pomp and circumstance of a Theo Riddick and all that kind of stuff. But he is a guy that can help you. And he's not a buzz sign. I think that's what it is. We was looking for something buzzworthy, to add to what we had. But he does bring a aspect of kind of shifty back, and he is very quick. So could we be kind of disrespecting Jacquizz Rodgers here, family? I think we might be. We could be accused of right now slightly disrespecting what Jacquizz Rodgers is bringing, because he is a good running back if you think about it in terms of catching the ball out the backfield, and he could help you in a special teams game. Got a lot of speed there. So we could be possibly disrespecting Jacquizz Rodgers. Let's not undervalue this signing. Let's monitor it very closely and see what this man could possibly bring. I mean, he definitely makes you faster in the running back room. He gives you more depth, and he does give you an ability to add a veteran returner to the kick return room to help out in that rotation. So, you know what? Thank you, Devon, for throwing that out there, my man. Appreciate it. That's why we like to have people to come in on the show and spread their great commentary, man. And make us kind of think about things. Because in my mind, I was saying, man, camp body. But I'm familiar with Jacquizz Rodgers, and he is a good catcher of the ball out the backfield. I got to give you that. He does do that. So thank you for that, Devon. Dada said, I think Bell looked better last year, and Williams seemed average. I don't know. Williams looked better to me, in terms of Bell was very active. And remember, Bell, he's undersized, and people ain't respecting. He's another disrespected Saint that we have. The man had 88 tackles on the team. I think he was second only to the mighty Demario Davis. So I mean, that's one of the things we got to understand, family, is that Von Bell has been really playing well, and I ain't even mean to rhyme with that. Devon Bell was really playing well, but I mean, at the end of the day, you got to look at it that he's coming. His contract is coming up soon too, and the Saints have drafted 2 safeties this year, and possibly Von Bell could be a person that Von Bell, you could say, I can't even say so well, a good well. I don't know. I was trying to rhyme. See, that's what happens when you try to rhyme when you're not trying to rhyme. anyway, but yeah, but that could be an interesting dilemma there, Dada. Thank you, Adrian. Hit the thumbs up, baby. Like, subscribe, notification. Thank you. Show him some love. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate you, baby. Willie says, "How we gonna win because Dan Arnold was eating hot buttered popcorn at practice today?" They need to cut that clown. You know what? You know, we are the Saints. We are the Saints, and we believe in forgiveness. Just not for Rob Kelly. Just not for certain individuals. JT Gray. I mean, I guess you can say we give JT Gray. I mean, they cut JT Gray a record 15 times last year to bring him back, and they finally cut him this time. I wouldn't even answer the phone after the 5th one. You ain't gonna cut me no 5 times, man, and then call the phone and say, "Hey, man, you think you won't come and play back?" Man, hell no. You cut me 5 times. And JT sit up there and let him do it. He said he got cut 12 times last year, family. I don't know nobody get cut that many times to keep answering the phone. They got 30 other teams, JT. Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, it's Dan Arnold. They're going to hold on to Dan Arnold because Sean Payton likes him. He likes his size. He's intrigued by what Dan Arnold could bring. He really is. And like I said at first, if you listen to the old podcast for me early on, I was on for the change too because I thought it would help. But I wanted just somebody to push Benjamin Watson. I thought Benjamin Watson, he had that one season for us and he fell off. That's why we got rid of him. Then he comes back. And Ben Watson been kind of mediocre for us because he's like really inconsistent despite the fact he's a good guy. He just drops too many damn passes, man. You know, and that's why the Saints ultimately, you know, decided to go in another direction. But as far as Dan Arnold goes, you asking the wrong dude to sit up here and talk about Dan Arnold. You know I'm going to lay into him. That's just what I'm doing because I'm still salty about this whole situation that happened in the Super Bowl, in the NFC Championship game last year. We didn't have to be talking about the rules. We didn't have to talk about the Rams. We didn't have to talk about the clownish Roger Goodell and the stupid officials. If Dan Arnold had done what he was supposed to do, I don't have to go into y'all know how I'm going to get. So I'm going to just leave it right there, please. And let me see. The family comment. Jason says Goodell ruined Josh Gordon's career just like Ricky Williams. It's just weed, man. Damn, but here, take these pills and alcohol. It sure didn't do that. The owner of the Indianapolis Colts nothing when he was drunk as a fish. You know, it's a double standard, man. You know, the players are definitely. It's up to the players, man. But that's what kind of league. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and players are making millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars to play. So you best believe they're going to try to take every possible advantage, competitive, and hopefully not trying to get caught to make money. That's the risk that they're taking. A lot of these guys are on it. I've covered it. You heard my spiel on it. I've covered it before, and I ain't afraid to talk about it. A lot of talk show hosts are shy away from it. They'll shy away from the controversy, but I go right into it because you got to talk about it. The controversy is there because something's amiss. Something's awry behind the scenes. You know, you got a chump like Goodell running around here. Thank you, Verlin. Appreciate the donation, sir. Thank you for donating your donations as we continue to thrive, and we're going to continue to work on this sound issue. Look like we get stick to it in this because we're going to shut it down and say, well, we'll work on it and fire back. No, we're going to work through this here thing. You know, we are work in progress, and we working to get better in front of the family, you know, and show them that, you know, what we doing. Okay, let's keep it moving, family. D says this schedule is worse than last season to me, which is done deliberately, Q. Oh yeah, the Saints. Oh, come on. Yeah, D, you know you're absolutely right. It's they're trying to stop us, but guess what? Like I just mentioned about who that nation is hard to stop a who that, especially somebody, you know, from New Orleans area based upon where we come from, very hard. And most people that can identify with that strength, you know, that inner strength, that inner power that refuses to stop and always press forward. So regardless of whatever they throw at us, we just have to just keep winning, and ultimately we'll end up in the Super Bowl. And like I said, the previous live stream about the Saints last time winning the Super Bowl in South Florida. Well, guess what, family? The Super Bowl is in South Florida this upcoming year. So if anything, any indication of what we've been through with the Minnesota Miracle and the debacle in the Dome when the referees didn't make the call and that other guy dropped the ball. I'm trying to tell y'all that this is setting us up for destiny. Super Bowl in South Beach. I don't think for a second if Sean Payton not telling his team that. If their report asks, hey, Coach Payton, you thinking y'all gonna get to the Super Bowl? Is that pitiful? Oh no, we're just gonna give you that old political crap. That's a bunch of malarkey. Sean Payton in there telling them guys, listen, man, the Super Bowl is gonna be in Miami. If he ain't saying, and Drew saying it. Drew saying it because Drew actually had hair then. Drew had a little hair. If you go back and look at the tape, Drew had Drew losing it all up top. Drew getting thin all around here. I said last time we won the Super Bowl, Drew had hair. Drew take his helmet off, all this thin up top here, all this thin. I say, damn, Drew, you gonna have a moon roof up there in a minute. But yeah, that's what it come down to, man. The Saints have to play through regardless of the crummy officiating and the terrible schedule makers. The Saints got to play through this stuff and make it way. And trust me, this team has the resolve because the players that are in the position, in the player positions or the leadership positions, such as Drew and Cam Jordan, those guys won't let the guys forget, what they're up against, DQ the Juice says, I love the schedule. We see who we are from the gate with a chance to get ahead in the playoff race. Very true. Very true. And that's why I was saying to myself, we can't have so much room for error. Maybe 1 or 2 losses, perhaps 3. But it wouldn't be such a bad thing if the Saints went 13-3 again next year. But remember, they are a team that is, everybody has their cross sights on the Saints, which is no surprise because they had the goddamn cross sights on us last year. Remember what the mantra was last year, family? That proving them right. Remember that? Because everybody and his mama picked the Saints to be in the Super Bowl last year. Everybody did. Everybody did. So that was the first year in history, and I remember recording and saying that the media and all of the so-called experts was saying that the Saints was going to be in the Super Bowl. Very interesting. Jason said, let's see, digging the hell out. Do you know Hodel raw dogging the hell out this organization? No lube. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Roger Goodell's an absolute piece of crap. And me and the Who Dat Nation, not only just the Who Dat Nation, but every fan organization from all 30 plus teams in the NFL hates Roger Goodell. Everybody. And I remember one fan saying Roger Goodell could go to hell. And they put that on the shirt. Roger Goodell could go to hell. And a lot of people absolutely hate Roger Goodell. When you watch the draft, they're booing the hell out of him. I mean, he's an absolute piece of garbage. Not to disrespect garbage. I hate to say disrespect. I don't want disrespect garbage by even naming it Roger Goodell. That's pretty bad. That's real bad. All right, fam, let's keep it moving here and see what the rest of the family. Berlin, thank you once again for your donation. So got to go back to work. NC saying out, true that, who that, stay on the dumbbell, Goodell, and waiting to tease. I got you, baby. It's coming soon. T-shirts coming soon, family. Got 4 of them. 4 shirts that'll be coming out real soon. Got, I think it's 2 of them designed right now. But when we come out, there'll be 4 Sports Coma Saints shirts that'll be fully designed and it'll be available. It'll be a merch that we'll have available for the fan. It'll be shirts, hats, cups, stuff like that. They'll be available. So coming soon, fam. We got a lot of stuff in the works and we're working hard, baby. We working hard. But we gonna get it together. All right, it says, let me see that Bell is on after last season. Crassy, I believe so. Someone's gonna watch and give Von Bell. We won't be able to match. Von Bell's out of here, man. Von Bell out of here. I don't think the Saints gonna keep him. They drafted his predecessor. I mean, he drafted his replacement. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is every bit of what Von Bell's supposed to be. Is that ceiling is high. No disrespect to Von Bell. He's been incredibly productive, and Von Bell has been probably one of the most disrespected New Orleans Saints players we have. To be honest with you, we don't give him no respect. And if you look at the statistics over the last couple of years, Von Bell's been right behind Demario Davis, who's another guy that nobody gives credit to except for true Saints Nation people that know what time it is. Scoop said, we always let go of good safeties and then pine for them when we have trash. Then to the next year draft. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I mean, my Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is gonna be good for you. I don't know about Marcus Williams. Sean Payton really likes Marcus Williams. I don't think he's going anywhere. You know, if he's healthy, he's gonna play. But Saquon Hampton is interesting. I've seen depth charts where they put Saquon Hampton on a practice squad. He won't survive there. If you put Saquon Hampton on the practice squad, you're gonna lose him like you lost those two guys in the draft the previous time when the Saints had those two defensive backs, those two cornerbacks that they drafted, the guy out of Wisconsin and the other guy that just was found putting his neck on his girlfriend's neck and all that kind of crap out there and with the Giants. He put both those guys on the practice squad. I think he put them on the street, and they were just, you know, that was crazy to me how they did that. But, you know, it'll be interesting to watch, though. But Von Bell, most certainly, I think he's definitely not going to be here. But peace out to you, my boy, Berlin. Have a nice day. Appreciate your donation, family. D says, please explain how we can donate to the show. Okay, D. Like Berlin just did a donation there. You can donate via on the live stream. I think it's a button there where you can hit. Where you can donate to the live stream like Berlin just did, or Adrian do, or some of the other great people here, Sean and Crass and the rest of them. You can donate through the live stream, or you can go to www.patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. That's patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. And I'm gonna see if we can have that put in the chat for those who having problems donating on the live stream. That's another way we donate. We got a great family like Sean that makes donation through the Patreon page as well. That's another way we get donation as well. If you look at, and later on when the show is over as well, there are other options as well, like through Cash App. That's another way as well. So Adrian, that's Adrian is doing it. To Adrian is explaining it to D. You hit the $ icon in the comment bar, swipe dot left to increase the donation amount. So hit the $ icon in the comment bar section, and then you can swipe the dot left to increase the donation amount. So that's how you do it on the live stream. But thank you for asking, D. Thank you, baby. And Crass, that's the guy right there. Crass said hit the button, hit the like button, folks. Thank you, Crass. And appreciate it, family. Yeah, Dada says, yeah, JT Barrett cut again, man. You know, JT Barrett, I'm just be honest, JT Barrett must have got dumped a lot by his girlfriend. He used to let down, just dump him. How you let somebody cut you 15, 12 times and you pick up the phone when they call? You know, it's like you called. Oh, something. Yeah, I work. Well, JT, listen, JT, we're not gonna be able to pay you that much. All we have is we got 3 sacks of oranges, 2 Funyun bags, and a half a container of orange juice. Would you work for that? Yeah, man. JT ain't even get paid no more, man. The Saints paying him with concessions. JT working for two containers of nachos, a half drunk icy, and 2 lollipops. That was JT Barrett pretty much working with right now, man. You know. Oh man, I just have fun, fam. No, man. Yeah, he got cut again. And JT says, as long as we get strong at the wide receiver and tight end D position, I think wide receiver you pretty much set. I like what they have there. The tight end position with Alize Mack down, you got Dan Arnold and Garrett Griffin, who's a favorite of mine. But Josh Hill is healthy, and you got Jared Cook. Based on what's happening with Alize Mack is interesting, you know. But the Saints seem sold on Mr. You know who, so Dan Arnold. So, you know, we just have to look at it. Now the defensive end position is key because the answer behind the 2 top ends, which is Jordan and Davenport, is Tre Hendrickson. Now he's been having a good camp, but Tre Hendrickson always has good camps. If you think about it, one camp he didn't. He was pretty average. But he always has good camps. That's the thing about Tre Hendrickson. That's annoying. He'll have a good camp and then he'll sustain an injury that'll knock him out for large slots of the regular season. That does no good for the Saints. You need somebody there. That's why I kept saying that we need to focus on getting a pass rusher that's exactly what he does. I don't know what Josh Martin and all these other guys supposed to be, but Geno Grissom. He might, who the hell is that, Q? You gotta look at your depth chart, baby. Geno Grissom is a guy that really was making some noise in camp the last couple of days. Perhaps he's a guy that's valuing for the position. Now, we all know about Carl Granderson, the situation. He's in jail, but the Saints are obviously going to wait on him until he gets out and whenever he gets out. So the reality is, what do we do right now? And I've said I want a pass rusher. I don't think the Saints going to do that. I think the Saints going to stand pat and see if they can get one of the guys that they have on the team currently to do something about the pass rush, the third pass rush position, and giving Tre Hendrickson possibly a chance at the third position. But that's the problem. Then, of course, you have guys like Ziggy Hood and Mario Edwards Jr. who can shift to the defensive line position if you need them to. They're not pass rushers, but if you need them to play that position, they can. I prefer to have an edge rusher there. But the Saints, I don't know. Tre Hendrickson, can't really call him an edge rusher either. And like some of the families say, he gets swallowed up too easy on the run, and that's true. You got to be able to rush the passer and hold up at the point of attack. You can't just be a guy that want to go up there and run around there, and then the offensive lineman just shove your butt around the side, and the running back runs right where you were supposed to be. We can't have that. So you have to be strong at the point of attack, yet push the pocket to get close up to the quarterback. Just be disruptive. And that's both in the offensive and in the passing and running back scenario when you're on the defensive line. So it's a lot of question marks behind the Jordan and Davenport combination. And to be quite honest with you, JT, you can ask the family here that I've been saying that for I don't know how long. Ask the fam, say, man, Q always talking about that third pass rusher. Because I know for a fact that you're going to need that damn pass rusher. Because sooner or later, Cam's going to get tired. Davenport's going to get tired. You got to put somebody in there to keep the pass rush going. Somebody got to keep the party going. And that's the only thing that I say out of all of the things the Saints have solved, they have not solved that issue. It's still a glaring hole there where Okafor used to be. Where Davenport used to be in that role. Okafor was starting. And Davenport was coming off the bench. So it's the old Davenport's old position off the bench, if you know what I'm talking about. If we played in the AFC East, we'd have 10 Super Bowl victories. You might have a point there, buddy. And that's what it basically comes to. Shirts, yeah, all that says shirts, cool. Yeah, it's all that. We got a lot of stuff going on, fam. I've been briefing the family on the live streams and letting them know. Not too much on the podcast. I don't really have time to kind of go through the whole deal, because it's a time limit. But on the live stream, I have a little bit more time to be able to brief the family on some of the things that we're doing behind the scenes. Doing everything. But yes, we got merchandise coming. We got hats and shirts and everything, sports Coma shirts, Saints shirts, all this kind of stuff coming. And the cool giveaways and all this kind of lovely stuff going as well. So, we got a few things going. We've been really working hard to kind of get everything straight. As you know, when you come into the live stream, we try to add it up and try to get some stuff from software and all this kind of stuff. So we're kind of working out the bugs, but we're growing in front of you. You see what I'm saying, family? We're growing in front of you. So you're seeing our growing pains in front of you. You hear sound issues and stuff like that. We're growing in front of you. It's more of an attachment when you can see us actually growing in front of you. And I'm very candid in telling the family that we're working it out. And trust me, if we got an issue, we're gonna work it out and we're gonna keep going. But yeah, merchandise is coming, and we got two designs. We got 4 shirts that'll be coming. So I hope you guys see it and like it. But it's pretty cool that we got some really nice gear coming out, and I hope the fam will support it and check it out. And Scoop said, JT will be in the Super Bowl. Oh no, JT, we're going to the bowl, baby. Super Bowl, Miami. 2 Super Bowls, 2-0 in Miami with the Super Bowl, baby. It's working the only way. That's justice. That's justice. That's justice. After what happened the last couple of years, that's justice. To get 2-0 in the Super Bowl. Saints won both their Super Bowls in South Florida. It's got it. Come on. They couldn't have scripted this any better. Willie says 2 things I hate in life: the cowgirls and Roger Goodell. It's funny because the Cowgirls hate Roger Goodell too. So the two things you hate in life hate each other. Jerry Jones despises Roger Goodell and often they voted to get rid of him and get him up out of here. That's why Goodell doesn't like him and does everything he can to undermine Jerry Jones. You know, that's what it is. The Saints scenario, why he hates the Saints, I don't have an idea why. I don't know where all that came from. You know, maybe with the bounty game thing, how he mishandled that and how we put him on Front Street from handling that. But he's a vengeful little chump. You can tell he's a vengeful little chump. And every ruling that he has against the Saints is always heavy-handed. On down to the Onyemata thing. Onyemata, that whole deal was worth only a $20,000 to $30,000 fine. Shouldn't have warranted a one-game suspension. But Roger the Chump Goodell levied a one-game suspension on him, and he wasn't even smoking the stuff. He just had it arrived in his house, and they issued him a citation, and it was nothing. Then he still went through a program where the police totally dropped the charges, and you still hit him over the one-game ban. How do you put a one-game suspension on a man where the police dropped the charges on him? I mean, come on. That should have at least been a fine. A fine is all it should have been. But that's the heavy-handed, chumpish, jerkish, craptastic crap factory that Roger Goodell is. So, I mean, don't get me going on that guy. I could spend 30 minutes lambasting him to death. Says Von Bell, a nice bird in that hand, better than a bird in the bushes. Yep, I get you on that, Willie. Jason says, yo, Q, give the haters an update on our favorite offensive lineman, Andrus Peat. They had a guy, bro, that was on, I think we had another person that came on and made a comment about Pete needs to go, all that kind of stuff. And I keep saying, me and you feel the same way, Jason. And many other Saint people out there the same way about Andrus Peat. Andrus Peat, when he first came in here, Sean Payton, now a lot of people don't remember Andrus' story. So I got to remind people and tell them Andrus' story. Andrus' story, when he was drafted out of Stanford, he came into the league as I think he was the top tackle in the league that year. If he wasn't the first, he was probably the second. But some say, I remember reading scouting reports that had Andrus the best tackle in the draft. When Andrus came out, he was starting, I think he was a left tackle. He was a left tackle, which is probably the best of the two tackles because you're protecting, if your quarterback's right-handed, you're protecting his blind side. So the blind side tackle is usually the best tackle you have because he has to protect the blind side of the quarterback who, you know, for obvious reasons. But Andrus was drafted as a left tackle. The Saints didn't have an opening, you know, that I think they had Armstead there and all this kind of stuff. So they moved him to the right tackle. Then injuries occurred and they decided to move him to right guard. Then he went to left guard. And during the whole process, this wasn't over a span of like a year or 2 years where they were just gradually moving him, shifting him. No, this was like almost game to game, practice to practice what Sean Payton was doing. I can remember blasting Sean Payton in old podcasts. We've been doing the show for going on for 5 years, family, if you don't know. 5 years of the Sports Coma coming up on the 8th of August, going into our 5th year. And I remember blasting Sean Payton, blasting him, literally blasting him, saying, what the hell is wrong with you? You moved the man from left tackle to right guard to left guard, and you sitting up here on the media saying that he ain't learning fast enough. I mean, what? Huh? Does this make sense to you? And then oftentimes fans forget too that process. Had he had been left alone like Ryan Ramczyk been left alone. Now I'm saying Ryan Ramczyk is arguably getting close to being the best tackle on his team over Armstead. But had he had been left alone like Ramczyk was left alone and left to one position, he would have been a Pro Bowler. And a couple years ago, he was a borderline Pro Bowler when all them Saints was on the same Pro Bowl year. So come on. That's why I have to remind people from time to time by Andrus Peat. How many players you know play 4 positions, family? He played every position on the Saints offensive line, short of center. Every position. But he's trash. Last year in the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, he played with a broken hand. He didn't say, you know what, I got a broken hand, I can't play. No, he didn't let his teammates go. He wrapped that sucker up and went out there and played with a broken hand. How many people you can say that about? That's why I'm saying we value these players. We look at their stories, and it would be wholly unfair to me not to tell the family about Andrus Peat and why I think he should be paid. Because I can't name too many people, maybe C.O. Calamente, who got paid by the Texans, who was one of my favorite players, too. He's listed Fort Coma. But I'm telling you, that Andrus Peat deserves to get paid. He deserves to get paid by the Saints organization, and I don't think he'll break the bait to keep him here. Now, will they keep him here? That's a whole nother thing, because personally speaking, the Saints should pay him, but I think they paid Easton they gave Nick Easton Andrus Peat money. So in a little bit, we might not see Andrus Peat because Nick Easton got his money. And I think Nick Easton was a mistake. If the Saints can go over and do the draft all over again, they wouldn't go and spend that money on Nick Easton. That was a knee-jerk reaction signing. Me and you both know that. Nick Easton missed the entire season last year with injury, and he was not a very good center when I ain't gonna say he was an average center. He wasn't all that. Then you say, okay, he's a better guard than center. That's why the Saints playing him at guard. But that was a knee-jerk reaction with the Max Unger signing, and when the Saints had an opportunity to get Eric McCoy, they went out and got him. Now, how you spend all that money on Nick Easton and say, oh, he's your center? Remember Sean Payton said that. Oh, Nick Easton is going to be our center, and then when the draft comes around, he gets McCoy and then moves Easton to guard. You can't believe Sean Payton half the time, because he's half politician. I'm about to say something else, but you get what I'm saying. But the reality of the situation is Andrus Peat should get paid. The Saints should keep Andrus Peat. But I don't know. Something telling me that Nick Easton got Andrus Peat's money, and Andrus Peat could possibly be going away. A lot of people ain't going to share a bad eye about it because most people still thinking he's garbage. So I just had to put that on you. Thanks for reminding me there, Jason. And JT says, working for Willie said the frozen cup. A huckabuck. And JT says, JT working for some leftover game day popcorn. All that, bro. All that. 3 sacks of potatoes. A half drunk frozen. A half drunken frozen cup. A steel bag of Funyun rings. And a steel batch of nachos. And he picking up. I mean, what else could you be paid JT grade? You get cut 15 times and he's still coming back answering the phone. Hell no. You cut me 3 times. That's her, Jack. You ain't. No. He called, yeah, JT, you won't come back to the team? Hell no. You cut me 5 times already. Oh, I'm sorry, man. We're going to bring it back. We ain't going to cut you again. They ain't bring him back. Cut him 10 more times. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. He must have had a lot of fun here. Demi says, will you and your family attend practice tomorrow at Tulane? I don't know, Demi. We're going to have to see about that one, baby. We got to see about that one. I just got back into town. So we'll have to see, what's going on there. Sundays is usually pretty much kind of a busy day for me, unfortunately. But we'll have to see about that. That'll be interesting. But if some of the family members do go out there and attend, please let us know. Share your stories and whatever with us on the live stream. Let us know how it went and who impressed you in camp with your own eyes. Crash says, I hate to be a dead horse, but Muhammad Wilkes is still out there. You ain't beating a dead horse, brother. The horse is still alive. It's alive. He ain't dead yet because the problems ain't solved. I mean, they still got a hole at the 3rd defensive end position. I don't care how much sugar you pile on top of, it's still some sweet, You take a bunch of sugar and pile it on top of a bunch of manure, and you know what you got? You got some sweet, what? That's what you got. And who wants some sweet? I ain't gonna say it. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I agree with you. Muhammad Wilkerson helps. He definitely does. I will love that. Veteran. He has a pass rush edge. Could set the edge. Doesn't get swallowed up on the run. He can play both positions. Well-respected person. Crass just donated to the live stream. Thank you, sir, for your donation. Appreciate you for everything. And I agree with you, Crass. Thank you. Dada says, I believe Banjo is the one who doesn't make the team. Hampton can play special teams and making plays in camp, and he looks like he could play both safety position when he's seen him last week. That's interesting that you say that, Dada, because Banjo, I don't know if both him and Justin Hardy make the team. That's the issue. If Justin Hardy and Chris Banjo makes the team, that's the problem. I don't know. But Saquon Hampton, if anything, I don't know if he beats out Chris Banjo because he's a very favorite out of all the special team aces. I think he's probably the best of all of them. It's Chris Banjo because of what he brings, his I mean, his fun-loving nature, the fact that he knows what the hell he's doing, he's a playmaker on the special team. Be hard-pressed to remove Chris Banjo because Sean Payton and the special team, well, it's a new special team coach, but Sean Payton really likes Chris Banjo a lot. He really does. And to say that Saquon Hampton unseats him, Saquon got to be stepping up to unseat that man, bro. I'm just going to be honest with you. You know, it's going to be hard-pressed to take Chris Banjo's job here, man. I mean, he's a fan favorite, and he knows what the hell he's doing on special teams. Anywhere else? No, hell no. Hell no. Now, Jason says, I'd take him right now. JT crazy as hell. That's what Dada says. Cross says, I don't know. Banjo is damn good on special teams. Crash said, just a little something to keep the lights on. Big Q, always enjoy your podcast. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. As always, my friend. Let's see. The family saying, let me see here. Okay, when the gear goes up, grab him. Okay. Yes, Quincy, I agree with you. Quincy says Pete is our most versatile offensive lineman. Hands down, Quincy. Hands down. The reality is, man, people don't know. That's why I have to say that for the family that didn't know about Andrus Peat, that don't remember his story. But I have the ability to kind of, you know, that's me. I can remember a player's story and see and kind of add it because I think he was done really unfair. It kind of stood out to me what Sean Payton was doing because he came into camp and he was in Sean Payton's doghouse from the get-go. A lot of people don't remember that. And he was like, well, why the hell was he in his doghouse, Q? Because when he came to the Saints, he was out of shape. And the reason why he was out of shape because he couldn't come into camp because at the time he was still in school and they have the rules set while school hit, he can't go to the pros or he can't attend with the pro activities, whatever have you. The rules prevented him from meeting up with the Saints, even though he was drafted. So once the schooling was done, he was able to come, but he came to camp kind of out of weight and he had to work himself into shape again. And while he was doing that, he was learning all these different positions. I just think Sean Payton just treated him so unfairly. Even to this day, Sean Payton trusts him a lot. Because when something happened to Teron Armstead, the first thing they do is to shift Andrus Peat to the blind side to protect Drew Brees. And that says a lot. Because guess what? He didn't take Ryan Ramczyk and say, okay, Ryan, I'm going to move you to left tackle and put Pete at right tackle. No. He puts Andrus Peat out there. He puts Andrus Peat out there to protect Breeze's blind side. That says a lot. That says a lot. A lot of people don't understand that. But I'm saying that's what the versatility that Andrus Peat brings, and he should be paid. But unfortunately, I think they gave his money mistakenly to Nick Easton. And I'll keep saying this, if the Saints can have that to do all over again, they would have not signed Nick Easton. I'm sorry, they wouldn't have taken him and gave him that kind of money because they thought that they needed a center, and they didn't realize that McCoy a few weeks later will fall in their lap. You know, but you got McCoy starting at with the first teams, and I told you that's your 10-year center. And then here goes, what was he doing, Nick Easton? Is he bringing to be a center? And Sean Payton said, oh, he's going to be our center. And now he's playing backup center to McCoy and guard. You know, so I'm sorry to say, but that's what I think. I could be wrong on that, but that's the feeling I got with that. I don't know. And Donna said, when the gear drops, Big Q, I'm grabbing me some stuff. Thanks. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Hey, Cheryl. Thank you, baby. Cheryl's donation. Thank y'all, man, for all y'all donations, family. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for what y'all doing, help the platform grow, and to the family. So thank y'all. Appreciate y'all for what y'all do. Thank y'all. And thank y'all, the donators. Thank the family members that share and like the show and send it on their social media feeds. Y'all all help. We all working together here as a family. And I thank y'all for all of the love and spending time with my crazy tail here on Saturday talking about the Saints. And Crash says Rams is quietly already elite in my opinion. Yeah, he talking about Ramczyk. Oh yeah, he is, man. He's a special talent, man. He's a very special talent. Ramczyk, when it comes down to it, is going to be right now. He's the top tackle in my opinion. It's Teron Armstead's healthy. There's some people they give it to Teron Armstead. But like I said, Teron Armstead, when he's not healthy, Ryan Ramczyk is right there. I mean, he's right there. This season, he will be over there. He will be the most talented tackle. He's going to bypass Teron Armstead this year, and perhaps make Teron Armstead take another pay cut, because hopefully he can stay healthy and contribute, because that's another thing. And remember, you know what's even specialer, family? is the fact that the Saints won 13 games and Terron Armstead was off and on during the season. So we won a lot of games when Terron Armstead, who's supposed to be our best tackle, wasn't there. Hear that? You heard me on that one, right? I'm not discrediting Terron Armstead, but I'm saying that the Saints had great depth, and that's mostly because they would use Andrus Peat in that capacity. So very interesting, man, none the least. Just making observations here. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to get Dada said, awesome, enjoy, bro. We always do. Who that? We that believe that. Thank you, family. Let's see. Cash calling. All right. Dada says, y'all talking about plane trips and getting to Oakland. Revolt Radio in the building. What you say that, Revolt? He said Henderson's got it covered, Q. Really, bro? You think so? You think so, family? You think so? You think he got it covered? Hendrickson? I don't know, family. I don't know. Listen, I'm not disrespecting Tre Hendrickson. Like I said, I like Tre Hendrickson. He got a 9-stop motor. But this is, even like I've always said, and I've been saying this, that he's been sucking up the Saints air conditioning for about 4 years now. And he needs to get his butt in gear. That's all I'm saying. Show me something, mister. Show me something. You know, but prior to that, Carl Granderson was the dude that the Saints was looking at. Seriously. And I had to cover it on the show and tell people Carl Granderson was in the camp body. The Saints wanted Carl Granderson when he was down here, when he was playing. The Saints had him on the first team off defense. He was on the front line taking snaps with the first team defense. Carl Granderson, not Tre Hendrickson. But now that Granderson's in jail, Tre Hendrickson gets denied. Problem with Tre Hendrickson is he has to get stronger at the point of impact and not get swallowed up. And the second thing he has to do, which is I think probably it should be the first thing he do, is stay healthy. As long as he stay healthy, he'll make an impact. But that's the thing. He's staying healthy. That's what he hasn't been able to do in the time that he's been a Saint. And I think we're going to have our Loey Kakaha moment with Tre Hendrickson coming up here soon. And I'm with the family here saying that we should get a more established option like a Muhammad Wilkerson or somebody that. We're looking for a Super Bowl here. I mean, we want a Super Bowl here. We got to get a Super Bowl here. Because in a couple of years, we got a lot of factors working up against us. So we got to seize the moment, and our window to win a Super Bowl is this year. It's this year. After the last couple of years, is this year. School, Crass, Quincy says, Henderson got to stay on the field. That's my point, fam. Willie says, give the dodo to Goodell. Willie's still mad at Goodell. Scoop said, I'm headed down for a game this year trying to link up with some of the guys if I can. You know, we're going to have a lot of family in the building. Crass said, I'm out here, fam. Crass, where you at, man? You in Palo Alto? Are you out there? Where you at, Crass? What part of Cali you in, baby? I know it's somewhere near Oakland, isn't it? Is that near Oakland or near San Fran? Wait, I know because I know you was telling me before. Willie says, man, Q, they even had Bushride over there. Come on, Q, trust. I know Bushride was there, bro. I know. But Bushride didn't play over there all the time. But I'm saying, I'm not discrediting what the Saints able to do because I'm on record saying that the Saints offensive line coach is the best in the game. But at the same time, you can't, despite the fact that you can't look over the fact that Andrus Peat played every position except for center and played them well. And since he's been at the left guard position, you know, he was a borderline Pro Bowler, you know, and he had a few injuries that occurred that set him back. But my point is, with the whole Andrus Peat thing, is all I'm saying is, had the Saints have left him alone at one position, he would have had a couple of Pro Bowl nods by now. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No other player they moved around like that. But he lived up to it, though. He could have got up out of here and went somewhere else and, you know, what have you. But the man hunkered down. He got it together. He became a solid left guard and a pretty damn quality backup tackle because that's his natural position is the left tackle position. And he never forgot how to play it. So we got to give guys credit when they earn it. And I don't think we're giving Andrus Peat enough credit. That's just my thinking. And Quincy says, Granderson set us back with that sentence. I don't know, bro. I don't know if he set us back. Granderson, I don't know if I can agree with Carl Granderson set us back with that sentence. You know, the Saints knew what they was getting into. They knew they was getting into it because they knew Jeff Ireland did the research. He had all the same reports we had. He knew it was an opportunity that Granderson wasn't going to come out that case innocent, even though Granderson was telling everybody, hey, man, I'm innocent. But then in the middle of it, then right when the case happened, throws a plea on the table. Innocent man don't cop a plea. They don't do that, you know. Thank you, Adrian, baby. Even with sound issues, BQ continues to deliver. Keep up the hard work and dedication. Never give up. Contribute, support, and watch the Sports Coma grow. Thank you, Adrian. Terrific. Thank you for the comments, baby. Appreciate you. Always very dear person, Adrian. But that's the terrific thing about the whole deal when we talk about issues dealing with like Carl Granderson. We covered the show, and then they had the thumbnail Granderson behind bars. Somebody on Facebook said, man, that's the most messed up thumbnail I've seen in a long time. I said, what? A picture of... I said, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till the Saints sign him or keep him on the roster. You ain't seen nothing yet. But the Saints stashed the man. They like what Carl Granderson can bring to the table. And they're going to hold to Carl Granderson. But they put a little bit too much in it. But then again, the Saints knew what they was going to get. You know, they're saying, well, if he gets 6 months in jail, then we'll wait for him. That's not like he got 2 or 3 years. And we'll wait it out, and then he'll come back. But in his absence, the Saints they didn't address anything. They didn't need any veterans and leaderships to come in here and help anybody. No Muhammad Wilkerson. And I don't think they're going to bring anybody in here. I think the Saints are going to stick to what they got. Now, it could change as the season get closer. They don't see any production from Hendrickson or any of the backup guys. They can probably, like what they do most of the time, bring a veteran guy in that gets released by another team right before the regular season starts. So, you know, we got to pay attention to that as well. So, but I knew what they was getting into with that whole situation, dealing with him. And Revolt Reddit says, Wilkerson laid down once he got paid. I'm not a fan of Wilkerson. Yeah, that's true. But you remember, he got hurt too up there. You know, but that depends on what system you got in. If you got Wilkerson playing off the bench, I mean, he could do nothing but ball. The energy level of the Saints defense is like, it's infectious. Like, it's led by Cam Jordan. You see how I just played the interview from Cam. Cam talk about everything. His mind all over the place. But that's because he's energetic and he got a high motor. The Saints defense plays like they just having fun out there. And that's something that most teams don't happen. Malcolm Brown came down here from the New England Patriots, who just won a Super Bowl. They come play for the Saints. Malcolm Brown. He came down here and said, man, I just want to have fun. So you mean to tell me, Malcolm, you got drafted by New England? You wasn't having fun all those years you was up there with New England? But he come down here, and one of the first things he mentioned in the interview, I remember playing it on the show, was, man, yeah, just like how they have fun. I want to have some fun. So it must be boring as hell playing football for Belichick. But that's the thing. But when you're free to play and you feel that fun and all the guys jumping up and taking pictures together and all this kind of stuff, and you know, posing together when they do stuff, as one guy makes an interception, runs all the way back, or one guy, whatever it may be, the team celebrates together. They celebrate each individual accomplishment as a team, you know. And the Saints were one of the first teams that really started doing that. It's a copycat league. You got all these suckers out there, and they started to start copying what the Saints defense doing, posing and making the picture sign, all this kind of little stuff. That's what they do, start stealing and copying. And for the family that don't know, the Cincinnati Bengals is one of the biggest ripoffs in the history of mankind. They took the Saints Who Dat chant and turned it into Who Dey. I don't know if y'all know that or not. The Cincinnati Bengals have a chant, and it's called the Who Dey chant. The Who Dey, D-E-Y. Who Dey. Who Dey. Like, are you kidding me? Are you seriously? You gonna just jack the Who Dats and go Who Dey? The Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals. It's amazing, but it's a copycat league. Nobody has no imagination. The Saints start doing all this inventive stuff, and they can't do nothing on their own. But anyway, don't let me get all up in there. But let's see what y'all fellas talking about here. Willie says, when I look at Pete, he's a hell of a Hall of Fame talent. That's my opinion. The man can play. Thank you, Willie. Thank you, sir. Slow down, Willie. I like Pete, but Hall of Fame, Jason says. He said Hall of Fame talent, bro. Not that he getting put in the Hall of Fame. And to be honest with you, Andrus Peat he has a lot of, I mean, bro, we undervaluing that. That's 4 different positions. Left tackle, right tackle, left guard, right guard. That's 4 different positions that he plays for the Saints. And he does a good job. How many players can do that? How many of them can do that? Not too many can play 4 positions on the offensive line. He's one off of playing a center. If he plays 4 positions, it's just like he don't just get in and be a body. No, he plays them really well. That's why I'm giving Andrus Peat credit. He's a borderline. He was playing at a level before he started getting those injuries, because he started getting injuries last year. He had a few injuries that slowed him down. But prior to that, he was a borderline Pro Bowl guard and almost made it that year when the Saints had all those Pro Bowlers that made the team. A couple years ago, you had Mark Ingram, Cam Jordan, Elvin Kamara, Drew Brees. You had Ryan Ramczyk. You had like 5 or 6 Saints that were Pro Bowlers that year, and had it been one less, Andrus Peat could have been the guy in. He was a borderline Pro Bowl talent just a few years ago before the injuries. So Andrus Peat, to me, I'm telling you, he's a tremendous talent. He got a lot of talent. If you just leave him in one position, let him play, he'll be fine. The problem is, like I said before, I think he's not going to be here because of the fact that the Saints paid Eason when they shouldn't have paid Nick Eason. They shouldn't have. What they should have did was they should have just stayed with Cameron Tom or Will Clapp and see what those guys can give him. Because Cameron Tom from Baton Rouge went to Southern Miss, local dude, been busting his ass since he been with the Saints. And I remember a key moment a couple years ago when Cameron Tom came on. I was watching the footage and seeing a guy just pancake the hell out of Cameron Tom. Just literally pushed him off his feet and on his back. And I was like, oh, that dude, see, that's bad footwork right there. No guy's supposed to put you on your ass like that. And I remember watching him after that, said, man, this dude ain't gonna make the team. Then he slowly start picking up his technique, getting better, and then he gained a lot of the people respect. Now that's what I'm saying. Cameron Tom, and we should have seen what those guys did before we spent all that money on Nick Eason. Because truth be told, I don't even think Nick Easton is better than Cameron Tom. And Cameron Tom is working for 3 bags of corn chips and a case of motor oil and 3 money orders worth $100 a piece. So I mean, Cameron Tom basically is out there, just donating money. And you get a guy like Nick Eason in there, who's I don't think he's better than Cameron Tom. And nobody never said that before, but I really do think Cameron Tom is better than Nick Eason. I'm gonna say it because at least I know that Cameron Tom was busting his ass, could play center and guard position, is strong at the point of attack, plays with an attitude, has well earned the respect of the offensive line coach. It's just that they decided to go with this other clown, and I don't know. And I think Cameron Tom is outplaying Nick Eason in camp. You don't hear him say that because you don't have too many Cameron Tom fans out there. But I'm just telling you what I see and what I observe. And Cameron Tom is outplaying Nick Eason. Now watch when it come down to it. Nick Eason will get the nod over Cameron Tom. You know why? Because of money. Because of money. It's a shame, but that's how it go. Willie says, give Goodell 1 week and HOD and let them boy find him, and I'm still mad about the bounty. Oh, yeah, well, I'm still mad about it, too. I talk about it every other show about Bountygate and laying out what that buffoon did. Big Q, I'm with you on the Pete. I was talking to some fans last week at camp who disagree with my opinion on Pete like he was trash, but I took up for Pete. That's what I'm saying, man. You got people out there that sit up there and watch the Saints. Seriously. You got people sit up there and watch the Saints and then watch and say, oh, yeah, Pete, he garbage. He garbage. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? I mean, seriously, think about what you're saying to me. He garbage. I said, if Andrus Peat was garbage, you think your coach, I know you respect Sean Payton. You think Sean Payton would take a garbage-ass player and put him on the blind side of your Hall of Fame quarterback when your best offensive tackle gets hurt? Is he that garbage? See, that's what kind of foolishness I be saying. The knee-jerk reaction people they just watch football, but they don't watch football. You get what I'm saying? You got some people, and I said it some shows back about sensitive Saints fans. I guess I got to bring it out. I got to uncope it and bring it back out and talk about the sensitive Saints fan. See, you was talking to a sensitive Saints fan. Now, had you laid out everything perfectly, like I just said, about Andrus Peat and what they did to him, and he still rose above playing 4 positions, became a borderline Pro Bowl talent. When your best offensive line person get hurt, you shift him out there to cover the blind side of your Hall of Fame quarterback, and he still does an admirable job. He played in the Philadelphia Eagles game with a broken hand when he could have went and sit down somewhere, but he was counting on. He stayed with his team and played with that team with that broken hand, and you don't get no respect from none of them people up there still yelling out the man was trash. He looked terrible in that game against the Rams. He looked terrible in that game against the Rams. And I'm saying, dude, remember the first time when the Saints played the Rams in the regular season? The Saints offensive line showed the rest of the NFL how to wrangle that terrible Ram defensive line led by Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, and at the time, Ndamukong Suh. The Saints held their asses in check. The second game, they did a little different. They had a few more wrinkles, but the Saints still did an admirable job against that rough line. Now, Andrus Peat wasn't 100% in the Philadelphia game with that broken hand, but I have to give a man credit, despite the fact he did not let his team down. He had a broken hand. I don't know how many people had broken limbs or broken arms or broken legs or broken ankles or broken anything. But when you got a broken hand, you know how difficult that is to move in life? And this man out there playing football with people clubbing at it all day. You don't think he in constant state of discomfort and pain, despite the fact they could have been shooting him up with painkiller. You still gonna feel something. But he went out there and he did the best that he can do. And you still got sensitive Saints fans running around here talking about, oh, Andrus Peat's garbage. Oh, he's terrible. He's trash. I just turn away from a guy like that. I don't know what to tell you, fam. I laid it all out to you. You still crazy like that? Then I met you crazy. I'm gonna leave you crazy. That's my mentality. I met you crazy. I'm gonna leave your ass crazy. But the chat, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, that who they chant. Y'all ain't heard that? Y'all ever heard that, family? I know most of y'all football people that pay attention to other teams too. But y'all ain't hear about the Cincinnati Bengals who they chant? It's the who they, D-E-Y, who they. They got a chant and everything. Who they say they're gonna beat them Bengals? Who they say they're gonna. They chant. They jack the heck out of us. Who they say they're gonna beat them Bengals? Who they? That don't even sound right. That sounds terribly back-ass is what it sounds like. And almost worthy of that traditional and new and powerful Saint slap. You just want to Saint slap the piss out of the who they Bengals for stealing our chant. And then didn't even change the words. And then the only thing, they was so non-inventive, so non-imaginative, they changed one letter on a word and say, oh, it's different. It's different. You got the who that say they're going to beat their Saints. We changed 2 words on to say who that. We say who they. You say who that. That's different. First of all, dude, cut that out. You sound foolish. You look crazy. And you're a joke. That's the bottom line. You're a joke, Cincinnati Bengals, Bungles. Who they say they're going to beat them Bengals. Who they. Get out of here with that madness. How foolish. Man, I know who they sound stupid. Tell them to put them bags on on their head since they want to bite. They did. They was doing that too. Man, that's like they the stealing this franchise in the history of mankind when it come down to football, man. I mean, they the stealing this ass franchise. They jacked the Saints big time. And they had bags. I remember looking at old footage when they were called the Bungles. They had fans with bags on their heads the same as the Saints fans. I mean, when they jack, you got to give them an award for it because they jack. When they jack everything from you. They took it all, Jay said, we'll clap on the clapper. We'll clap on the clapper. I don't know. Will in trouble, dude. Will Clapp. We was talking about that. I was talking to a friend of mine. He's asking about Will Clapp. I said, Will Clapp in trouble, man. Nick Eason, Cameron Thomas development. They still got a few veteran guards. And remember, the Saints just signed another guard, Olame. Yeah. Patrick Olame. They just signed him. He's a guard. So I'm like, in my mind, Will Clapp in trouble. He's destined to the practice squad. It's not looking good for Will Clapp, man. It ain't looking good for the Clapp. It ain't looking good for the Clapp. And it never, to be honest with you, never looked good for the Clapp. But, I'm going to leave all that alone. D says, I pray we stay on his best behavior while he's locked up. Those inmates might test him to get in trouble while there. Granderson. Yeah, D, you true. True, you know how it is to try to make a name for themselves with the guy, but they said 6 months. 6 months in the bin, and we'll see what Mr. Granderson can look like. I bet they pop off Pete. He's Swiss Army knife. I guess Hill's garbage. If Pete garbage, some watch football, don't know the game. That's true. You got casual observers of the game, and there's levels to it. You got people that follow the game and look at the intricacies and follow the rhythms and everything like that. And you're absolutely right. They got casual observers, and they got people that, there's in between people, and there are people that actually look at the game for the game, and observe it in a higher capacity. And that it depends on what kind of person you are. Some people like to go more in depth, and some people just like to, ride the wave. But those epidermic layer fans, when stuff start going bad, they're the first ones to jump ship and go run over there to the winning team. That's what they're gonna do. The Saints winning right now, and you see a lot of that going on. Everybody got darn in their black and gold, but let the moment they start winning, watch all of them turn around and go the other way. Watch all of them jump off the bandwagon. That's just how it's always been. It's always been bandwagons, and we got a bunch of bandwagoners right now. They riding up and down with the Saints, and trust me, 4 or 5 years ago, prior to that, before Drew got here, they garbage. The Saints terror. They got guys that were Dallas Cowboy fans down here talking about the Cowboys, and I'm saying, man, you from New Orleans? You talking about Dallas? Don't you know the Saints play here? Oh, the Saints ain't never won nothing. They ain't worth nothing. I was like, so you getting jocked out on a team because they won a Super Bowl? They ain't that don't. Yeah, man. They got Pittsburgh Steelers fans way down here. Yeah, man, Pittsburgh Steelers won. They just want to be affiliated with a champion. You can't stick to your hometown team and say, okay, my team robbed my team, I'm a diehard. Some people not. It's just who they are. It's just who the hell they are. Sad, man. But yeah, family, that's the terrific thing about that. And let me see if I can give you guys a update right now on the camp. I know later on we're gonna come back and re-update you guys on what's happening at the camp. But like I said, let's see if I can give you some observations, family, here. All right, let's get into some news for day camp. Might not have to come back, family. I might have the update for you right now. Let's see if we can get some stuff going here. I was trying to see if I could save a few of these interviews for you guys, for Coach Payton and the rest of them chiming in on today's camp as well. Let me see if I can get Coach Payton to give some insight on today's camp. And I know they had a few guys, man, that talked. Maybe we could play a few more people for you to the show. I'm gonna play some Sean Payton. I got Sean Payton lined up here for today and give you his thoughts on camp today. I'm gonna play Sammy Cobbs Jr. and let you guys hear Sammy Cobbs, and then Tre Hendrickson, and let him hear what you say. And then I'm gonna give some camp observations. So let me play Coach Payton in just a moment and let Coach Payton rap with you about what it was today. Here you go, family. Here's what Coach Payton thought about today.
This morning, we signed running back Jacquizz Rodgers, and we waived running back Rob Kelly. So we're still at 90. Any questions?
Favorite snowball flavor?
Mine? Yeah. Cherry lime.
What kind of damn question was that? Guy asked him what's his favorite snowball. He need to be Saints lap.
Latavius Murray back out there. How encouraged were you what you saw after they missed a few days of practice?
Well, we'll look at the tape. Obviously it's good to have guys like that. Get back out after their rehab. Both of them should be pretty healthy. I'm sure there's a lot of soreness right now with a number of players, but I thought, again, today's practice was more of a red zone emphasis. We'll go in and watch the tape and then make corrections for this afternoon's walkthrough.
Rookie Eric McCoy is going into tomorrow's scrimmage. Has he done enough for you to comment on how he's coming along?
Well, I think we've seen a lot of good things. I like how he's picked things up. I think he's strong inside, and I think each day you see progress. So I think discussing the personnel the other day in the meeting, we felt like, especially since the pads have come on, we've been able to see some things that are encouraging, and yet there's still a number of things third down, 2 minutes, some of the protections that he's working through, but I've been real encouraged.
How does the like kind of relationship building on that line, where when you got a rookie at center, the guys kind of have to.
Well, look, there's veterans, both to the right and left, guys that have played a lot, Larry and Andrus, obviously Teron and Ryan. I think that's what happens. You come in and look, the center is an important position. Max was a real good leader, a good communicator, and I think Eric can be the same. I think as he's getting more and more familiar with what we're doing, you saw a consistent player at the college level, at a real good college level, and so it's just each day working on getting better, working on the things that maybe are new or a little different.
Hold on, let me replay that again, family. Hold on.
And I think Eric can be the same. I think as he's getting more and more, obviously Teron and Ryan. I think that's what happens. You come in and look, the center is an important position. Max was a real good leader, a good communicator, and I think Eric can be the same. I think as he's getting more and more familiar with what we're doing, you saw a consistent player at the college level, at a real good college level, and so it's just each day working on getting better, working on the things that maybe are new or a little different.
Coach, how is Cameron Tom kind of progressed from his rookie year?
Well, he's stronger right now. I think he's carrying his weight better. He's in the mix inside. He's someone that obviously is playing a guard, but he's someone that's taking center snaps, so he's competing. I've been encouraged. He's smart.
That's Coach Payton, man. Coach Payton talking about a bevy of different subjects and topics. C-Step says audio is low. I'm going to turn it up next time, brother, for the next one. This is the thing, man. We're dealing with Coach Sean Payton, man. Saying about Cameron Tom. We just discussed Cameron Tom. Just talked about him. And, and speaking about what he doing, man, what he's bringing to the team, and the fact that the knee-jerk reaction to sign Nick Easton when you had Cameron Tom, and then the Saints also brought in Patrick Omame, who's a veteran offensive lineman that had a lot of starts. The guy's like 56 starts in the NFL, 5-6 years, 56 starts, something like that, and very, very much young. So the Saints adding a lot of. Then you got Groy, who was a veteran lineman the Saints brought in from Buffalo, who's still there. Got a lot of depth in the inside there, man. And Cameron Tom, you gotta like him because the Saints love their utility guys. They love guys that can play multiple positions, and that's obviously what he does. But let's play some Sammy Cobbs Jr., who's a fan favorite for the fam as he chimes in. Here's Sammy Cobbs.
Pretty competitive between the wide receiver group right now. Just kind of, just discuss eight practices and how you feel within kind of the wide receiver competition.
OTAs, we had a good group of guys. We challenged each other to, raise the bar because everyone making plays is only going to make the team better. And we encourage each other to make plays. There's no, like somebody who wants to make more plays than the other. We just encourage each other, and at the end of the day, you got to know what your job is in your role and get it done.
You obviously joined the Saints late last year, but now you've had a full offseason with this team as opposed to last year. How's that helped you grasp what they want, what they expect out of you?
I just, for the first part while I was here, I just took a bunch of mental notes. Now I'm getting ready. I'm getting able to run it through, practice it out, and it helped me overall because I started to learn the concepts faster, the overall playbook faster. What Drew likes, what Coach Payton likes, what CJ likes, and overall it gave me a great opportunity.
Sammy, what's been the difference last year coming into the league, where you at right now when you came with the Redskins versus now, and how much more confident do you feel?
I guess up my game from a college level player to NFL receiver, and it was just I went through a process where I had to just learn a bunch because I was on the practice squad in the beginning. And so all I could do was watch and take notes. And then once I got here, I was able to learn from guys like Mike and Ted and Traquan, and it just overall helped me shape my game. And I learned how to use my abilities rather than trying to do stuff that I'm not supposed to be doing.
How much time do you spend in the film room during the off-season?
Oh, well, I got it on my phone, so I'm on, I can either go in the receiver room before practice or after practice, or I can just pull up my phone. So
from your perspective, how have things changed since Michael's been back?
Pardon me?
How have things changed with that group since Michael's been back?
It's just, we knew what was going on. Everybody knew that we had to just make plays and just keep doing our jobs until he got back. And once he did get back, he just brought that, the extra encouragement, the extra motivation to play better and make plays. He gives us more tips on the sidelines. If we're running a certain route, he'll come back and tell me maybe I need to be more physical here or there. And so it's good learning from a player like Mike, just because, obviously he's done it plenty of times. And so it's a lot of fun having him back, and it's a good learning experience as well.
A lot to learn.
Sammy Cobbs Jr. family chiming in, telling you his thoughts on the camp and things going on. Very interesting, man. Sammy Cobbs. A lot of people love Sammy Cobbs. They love Sammy Cobbs because of Sammy Cobbs Jr. what he brings. Attacking the ball, has pretty decent. He ain't a burner, but it's a big wide receiver. And it's a well-known fact that Sean Payton loves big wide receivers. And Sammy Cobbs is a guy that has decent speed. He's not going to tear you up, but he's a guy that can catch. He's a guy that has good speed, attacks the ball at his highest position. And the Saints seen a lot of Sammy Cobbs Jr. to bring him off the practice squad from Redskins last year. He's been acclimated, and he has an opportunity to compete. And I mean, the wide receiver room is absolutely insane. Mike Thomas is obviously the top dude. You got Ted Ginn, he's healthy. Behind him, we have Rashard Matthews, who's the key man for the slot. Traquan Smith, as Jason's talking about. He's in there too. You got to mention guys like Emmanuel Butler, who's playing really well, although he didn't, he had a little injury issue. Then of course Sammy's taking advantage. Austin Carr had been doing it, balling, trying to make the team on the kick return, punt return aspect, balling, catching. LaJordan Humphrey, who had a little shine in there too. Then of course there are guys like Cyril Grayson and the like. So I mean, the Saints wide receiver room is very deep this year. Very deep, man. Very deep, to say the least. And guys like Sammy Cobbs and Emmanuel Butler, the undrafted guys, might have an opportunity there. You never know, but it all depends on where you are in terms of your health and when it comes down to it. But Sammy Cobbs, don't sleep on him. Sammy Cobbs Jr. could really be something special for the organization. Let's move on ahead to our next topic of discussion. Well, actually, we're going to play another interview here. Tre Hendrickson. We spoke about it earlier about the third pass rusher position, the third defensive end position with Granderson in jail. Saints not really bringing anybody. Wes Horton was a guy the Saints signed. Not really a guy that was with a name, and hasn't really heard anything on Wes Horton, to be honest with you. Have heard from Geno Grissom, but I haven't heard a damn thing from Wes Horton. I heard more about the guys changing the light bulbs and wiping the tables at the Saints facility than I heard of Wes Horton. But let's hear what Tre Hendrickson had to say about the camp today.
Other training camps in the past? No, but you definitely feel a sense of urgency, into every camp, every offseason, and move forward from there.
Now, Tre, what are the things you feel like you've improved on since your rookie season?
It's just more development, seeing things. As you get older, you're playing around greatness like, Cam and, learning things, and you just kind of pick up on the little things, and over time it just develops into a plan.
We've always kind of noted your feistiness out there. Just, how does that help you when you're on the field?
It's good to have a mean streak in football. Call me old school, but, hard effort, hard work classes talent sometimes.
Tre, there's obviously a big opportunity at defensive end with Alex gone now for a lot of snaps. Do you feel like sort of a role you want to make sure that you slam the door on anyone else?
I work hard regardless, but when opportunity presents itself, I hope that, over time I've accumulated enough to show out. So.
And do you feel like third-year leap's even a term, but do you feel like you've made the strides so far this offseason to earn that? Are you happy with what you've shown coaches to?
I've improved every year, every off season, and it's like I said, when opportunity comes, I'm excited to show out.
What do you feel like you improved most this offseason?
The mental part of the game, seeing things, repetitions, it really helps when you're out there, diagnosing plays before they happen.
Last couple of years, you find yourself thinking too much at all or anything like that? Like you mentioned, just being
maybe a little bit in rookie year, but over time, it's just more and more of a development, just building each rep, each play.
Tre Hendrickson, man, short and sweet, huh? You don't want to hear none of that stuff. But I mean, the questions are, Tre Hendrickson's not his football now. Tre Hendrickson's always been a smart player, always been pretty productive at the college level coming out of there. But you look at what Tre Hendrickson's supposed to bring to the team in terms of, he was drafted, where was he at? I think Tre Hendrickson was a 3rd or 4th round linebacker. I'm going to have to look Tre Hendrickson up. I want to say Tre Hendrickson was drafted in the 3rd round. I'm going to look him up because they had a lot of stuff riding on Tre Hendrickson. And they had a lot of hopes for him to come in. 6'4", 279. His production, in the last couple of years, his 3rd year here, 2 sacks within the 2-year span, averaging a sack a year. And this is the time where Tre Hendrickson's really got to step up and show out, man. I mean, my goodness. I mean, you got a guy go to jail. You got a guy go to freaking jail. It's time for you to, he was the main obstacle. It's not going to be Wes Horton. It most certainly won't be Wes Horton. I can tell you that much. Wes Horton's not going to challenge anybody, maybe for the backup janitor position. But, I mean, you got to look at it, though, man. I mean, this dude he has to take it. And he's saying, I think I'm a smarter player. Yeah, you always been a smarter player, but the goddamn question is, can you stay healthy to win some games, to help and compete? That's what it's about. Yes, Tre Hendrickson was a 3rd round draft pick. 3rd round pick, 103 pick in the 3rd round in 2017 out of Florida Atlantic University. That's Tre Hendrickson. 3rd round pick. 3rd round pick out of Florida International. I think it's time for Tre Hendrickson to show the hell up. How about you? And you heard him. You heard him. I play him so y'all can listen to him. They hear exactly what they saying. It's just see step 100 ball. He like that. That's the funny thing, man. Is I kind of I throw a little levity in their family because when you talk about football players, a lot of these guys are doing the best that they can do. And not everybody trains or practices the same. You got a Michael Thomas, Drew Brees level of competition in terms of how you practice. And that's, I've often heard from the greatest, and I'm a fan, I'm a fan of success. I'm a fan of listening to success stories, especially if you listen to Michael Jordan's success story of how he actually thinks about winning and how he was a winner. Or if you listen to guys like great coaches like Greg Popovich or Mike Krzyzewski, or some of these great coaches that have some kind of way figured out a system of just perpetual winning. Despite all odds, they're just constantly winning. They're able to win regardless. And that's something that, Drew Brees has. Drew Brees once said, and I've played it in many different interviews, Drew Brees goes through an entire game in practice in his head, going around on the field with a fake football, in the whole 60-minute game, however, throwing the ball to wide receivers, moving around. I mean, the entire progression of the game in his head. And I often heard Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders and all the greatest ones say that you got to be a practice all-star to be a big star in the real games. And I say that to say that when you see a lot of these men, and they were stars or really good talents at the level they played when they were in college, it's a wake-up call. You have to have a real strong psyche when you come into the NFL. Because damn near everybody in the NFL is an all-star, a blue-chip player, a 5-star blue-chip player. You might have dominated the guys in your little small pond, wherever you came from. But when you go to the NFL, everybody's an all-star. and only the top players of all the all-stars are all pros. And we really forget how, or can't quantify how incredibly productive or how incredibly competitive the NFL is, from a talent perspective. And you often remember the psyche of the player that was a star in his small school, moving to the pros and becoming a minimum talent at best. The psychic effect of that, saying, damn, man, I thought I could compete here. These guys are way faster than I am. These guys are way stronger than I am. These guys are, oh. I mean, that happens. It's like that moment in time when you see, like, oh my goodness. You get that reality check. You get a reality check that moment when you realize that your moves and your strength ain't working against this man in front of you. You 270, he 320, he just as fast as you. How you supposed to beat something like that? But I'm saying that to say Tre Hendrickson, man, had every opportunity, now to claim that position. He has every opportunity. He's talking like it. But the reality at the end of the day is, can he take it? You don't have to. Carl Granderson is in jail. Your fierce competition is Granderson. He's behind concrete and bars. So I don't know, man. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see about that. But anyway, Dada says he like Emmanuel Butler as his dark horse. Yeah, Butler. We talked about that. Butler, people like Sammy Cobbs Jr., people like Keith Kirkwood. I heard a few people give Kirkwood some credit. A lot of people like LaJordan Humphreys. Those guys. I heard a lot of people about Cyril Grayson. Not too many people about Deontay Thompson. But nobody for Austin Carr. I one damn person shout out Austin Carr. Not one person for Austin Carr. But Austin Carr that's the story of his life, and he's trying to ball, man, by any means necessary. But let's get into today's camp news, family, for Saturday, day number 9 of this here thing. Now, after missing four practices, Latavius Murray and Marcus Williams participated fully in pads at today's practice. Murray made his presence known immediately on the first play of team drills when he broke a long run, and he broke out a long run. That's a huge, big running back, 6'3"ish, 230 pounds. And like I said, when the Saints played that dude, he would drag. People don't understand the effect that Latavius Murray is going to bring. He's not going to be your feature back is Alvin Kamara, and Latavius Murray comes in as that short yardage guy, so you don't have to force Alvin Kamara in those positions. Latavius Murray basically falls forward and gets you 4 yards. And if logic dictates what Sean Payton's going to do, he's going to use him as a big red zone target. You give him a fullback to run in front of him, Latavius Murray can't be stopped. So if you 10 yards, 15 yards off the end zone, or 10 yards inside the red zone, off the end zone, and you hand the ball to Latavius Murray, he's going to get that touchdown for you. If you got decent offensive line, which we have more than a decent ball running behind that line, Latavius Murray can get upwards to 8 rushing touchdowns on the year if we get in the red zone and utilize him the correct way. Very big move. Now, of course, he's not Mark Ingram. I'm not saying that. A lot of people still miss Mark Ingram. But with the way Latavius Murray could be used, trust and believe that this guy is not one of them guys that you can swipe at his foot and he's going to fall down, all this kind of stuff. It takes 2 guys at least to bring Latavius Murray down to the ground. And he's still going to be fighting your ass. Okay. Some other stuff on the one-on-one drills, perhaps the best part of the day was when offensive linemen squared off against their counterparts on the defensive side, and the individual battles they had was the basis of some of the games that the football today, and to see who will win in the trenches. Now, once again, Malcolm Brown steps up. He continues to dominate at times with various moves, short with his power. Also fun to watch the battle between Armstead and Marcus Davenport. Armstead continuing to impress during camp. He's always going to impress. Armstead's going to always impress. He's a all-pro offensive lineman. But the issue with Teron is injuries. Let's hope and pray that Teron Armstead goes through an entire year. He hadn't done one in 3 or 4 seasons since he played a full year. Hopefully the guy, he's 100% healthy. Hopefully he had a little scare the other day, but let's just hope that he stays. And remember, Teron Armstead was one of the fastest offensive linemen recorded. at the combine when they ran the combine. And remember, the Saints took this guy out of the 4th round from Arkansas Pine Bluff and turned him into an all-pro tackle on the team. The 4th round draft pick from a small school is your best offensive lineman on the team. Just goes to show the vision of the Saints being able to see that guy and then seeing him who he is, and then the coaching staff to able to turn him and from what they see in their head into a reality. That's even more of an impressive feat. And Teron Armstead, the only thing that's been able to stop him is that. But that's still a great matchup. Armstead against Davenport. You know, of course, Armstead's going to win that battle the majority of the time because he's a savvy veteran. He knows how to deal with pass rushers because he's pretty fast for a big guy himself. So Davenport's going to have to learn some moves. Ryan Neeson, who's the defensive line coach, is going to have to show him the rip moves and spin moves and the bat moves, and maybe put on some footage of Dwight, number 55 for the Colts. I forgot the man name. Dwight Freeney. Now, Dwight Freeney could be a guy that you watch and learn a lot. I remember a lot of guys learn, Mathis included, who used to play opposite him in the Indianapolis Colts. Freeney had a barrage of moves. One of his best moves was, and he was an underside defensive end, but Davenport could do the same thing, do that little spin move. When he puts his hand on you, then spin off you and batch his hand. I mean, it's a lot to learn for a guy like Dwight Freeney. But Marcus Davenport, if he can consistently beat Teron Armstead, which Armstead's going to get the best of him because he's seen it all, and Davenport's just a young buck, but that's a good matchup. Big ups to Malcolm Brown, too, because we said that about Malcolm Brown, that he's stout at the point of attack. He's incredibly disruptive, and imagine when Sheldon Rankins get back, what the Saints interior is going to look like. You're going to have push up the center of the offensive line, which quarterbacks hate. Quarterbacks hate being flushed out from the center of it because it's really nowhere to go. You're going to flush out either side, and you got Cam this side, and you have, that's what I was saying about Malcolm Brown and what Sheldon Rankins is going to do for the Saints for the pass rushers. You got Davenport and Cam Jordan on either side. When the pocket is pushed, the quarterback has to back up. He either goes one way or the other, and either one of them going to get his ass. So I'm looking at Cam having maybe, I'm saying 14, 15 sacks this year. That's what I want to see from Cam. That's one of the years where we can see Cam get that, because of the push up the center makes the quarterback uncomfortable. He has to vacate either side. You got Davenport and Cam Jordan. A feast factory going on, baby. Barbecue chicken, like Shaq says. And then also another observation, and the final observation of day 9 is, for the first time in camp, the offense looked like its old self. This says Murray and Kamara throws down the seam from Drew to Michael Thomas. Highlighted that's been the steady thing since Mike Thomas has gotten back, since he got his money. It's been Drew Brees and Mike Thomas showing a synergy despite the fact they hadn't played together in a while, just to show you that they are still okay. Then you had Murray and Kamara had long runs. And then you had seam throws down the center of the field. My highlight style workouts between Mike Thomas and Drew Brees. And perhaps the best play of the day might have been Cyril Grayson's catch of a deep out from Taysom Hill. Not only did Grayson stand inbounds, but he held onto the ball after hard contact on the last play of the game. So the Saints doing a lot of great things in day number 9, family. So that'll pretty much do day number 9. I played some interviews from day number 9. They hit you with some information from day number 9, and also it just shows you how great the Saints are performing as we get closer and closer to that very first preseason game coming up. So, man, it's great, man. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. But that's going to do it for the show today, family. On the Sports Coma podcast number 398, live stream number 11. It's been number 11 of these things, family. We're in the double digits on the live stream. And one episode off of 400 podcasts, family. August the 8th, we'll be going into our 5th season of the Sports Coma. 5 years of the Sports Coma covering the Saints. 30 plus years of being black and gold family. And it's just awesome, man, to be able to talk with the Saints about you. Almost 400 podcasts going into our 5th season. So, man, thank the Lord, man, about just being here. So I'm gonna talk a few comments with the family before we go. But let's see what Scoop says. Trey all day is my guy. Jason says Freeney came off the bus spinning in the stadium. Yeah, that spin move is something that Cam should master. He should utilize it. Dwight Freeney's spin move is unblockable. I mean, he would spin off that sucker and just, I mean, you could take from that. Dada says, I believe Kirkwood's safe and don't count on Matthews. Wouldn't fool me if he kept 6 wide receivers. It wouldn't fool me, especially if one or two of those special team guys. And the fact that we haven't heard anything from Rashard Matthews. He hasn't. We've heard from a lot of the wide receivers, just not Rashard Matthews. So we have to keep an eye out on him because sooner or later you're going to start, and most of the time, you ain't going to hear from Rashard Matthews' ass until preseason games start playing. That's when you're going to start seeing him with make himself known. So let's keep that into effect as well. And Jay said, what does Hill's deep ball look like? He dropping dimes. He can throw that damn deep ball. Matter of fact, you go to the NewOrleansSaints.com. They got the highlights of it where you can watch it throw it. I think they posted it on Facebook and Twitter. I know Twitter got a picture of him throwing the ball down the field to Cyril Grayson. But remember in the games when the Saints would use him in that capacity, and they'll have Taysom Hill back there and Drew Brees spread out, and Alvin Kamara. Remember that play against the Atlanta Falcons? I think it was. It was against Falcons, and Taysom Hill. They thought he was going to run the play. He took the snap. They thought he was going to run it. Alvin Kamara shot right down the center of the field, and Taysom Hill seen him and threw the ball, but overthrew. Out front of his outstretched hands, over Alvin Kamara's outstretched hands. That was a surefire touchdown. But Taysom Hill just threw it a little bit too far. So he got a nice deep ball. Remember, Taysom Hill's problem was never throwing the deep ball. His issues was short and intermediate passes. His accuracy issues underneath and the intermediate passes. Throwing the deep ball was never a Taysom Hill issue. He could throw the deep ball with the best of them. But accuracy has been his hallmark. And that's the thing the Saints were working on with this guy. But that'll do it for the show, family. I'd like to thank y'all, man, for spending almost 3 hours with your boy today. This was supposed to be a 2-hour thing. What happened? What happened, family? Where did this whole extra hour come from? Where the hell did this whole extra hour? It's supposed to be 2 hours, family. Where did this whole damn hour came from? See, that's what I'm telling you. When you're talking about the black and gold, time fly by, and I just love it, man. Thank y'all. Thank you, D. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Dada. Dada says Armstead hasn't shown me he can do a full season. If he does play 13 games without injuries, could be a miracle. Could be. But remember, miracles come from saints, and we are the saints. You know, and I think Armstead, if anything, this year could be a year that Armstead not only plays a full season, but also we win a Super Bowl. So wouldn't that be awesome to get that out of Teron Armstead for just one season? He plays a full season. We get to the Super Bowl, win another ring in Miami. 2 for 2 in Miami with the Super Bowl. That's big time. That's big time. But thank you, Demi. Appreciate you, Demi. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Revolt, C-Step, Dada, Jason, Crass, Berlin, Willie, Ahmad. I know I said D, Scoob. All my family, Revolt Radio. Thank you for listening today. I like to give everybody a shout out, man. If I can remember everybody's name here, and if I forgot you, Quincy, everybody, man. JT, thank all of you guys for chiming in today on the live stream. Remember, if you haven't, DQ, you too, my man. Everybody, Gary. And if I have forgot somebody, please forgive me. Marty, I do my best to try to remember everybody. Cheryl, especially Cheryl. I can't forget Cheryl. She'll get mad at me. FaZe Sway snuck up in there. I ain't see you up in that FaZe. Wow. Ahmad, everybody. Lionel, big ups to you, Travis. Everybody, man. Audit, thank y'all for joining us today on the live stream, man. As usual, hit the like button, subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so now. If you like the show, please hit the thumbs up button as it spreads around to more great people like yourself. And also hit the bell for notifications. Like I'm saying, a lot of the Sports Coma family, we got a bunch of people that listen to the show. A lot of them been telling me they hadn't been getting their notifications. So subscribing is not enough. You got to hit the bell too. The bell's like a double deal right there. It kind of acts like insurance. Like if you're a subscriber, you're supposed to get updates from the show. But if you hit the bell, you most certainly, I think it helps your chance of getting more with the show. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on this live stream today. Y'all have a great afternoon today, a good Saturday afternoon. You have a great weekend. And I'm gonna continue. We're gonna continue here at the Sports Coma to bring you updates. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what a live stream. Just be on the mind. I might surprise you, but tomorrow with a live stream, we won't know. But if so, then I'll make sure we notify you guys. But it could be a live stream tomorrow. If not, it'll be a podcast. But be on the lookout for it anyway, just to do. We'll make sure we cover it. So thank you all you wonderful people for joining us on the Sports Coma today. From me and the crew at the Sports Coma. And before I let you go, let me tell you, like I said, we got more of the merch coming in. We got the merchandise coming in. We'll let you know about that. We got the game giveaways coming up real soon, possibly in next week. We got the consoles things after that, all that kind of great giveaway stuff too as well coming up. So be on the lookout for that. So for me here and the crew here at the Sports Coma, thank y'all for joining us. Who that?